Connecticut, a state many of us call home. Rolling countrysides, beautiful parks. In some places you can go skiing. And every step you take in the state of Connecticut, you are taxed through the ass, as if Governor Malloy is putting on a rubber glove, reaching up your crevice and pulling your insides out. On a different note, you can use any bathroom you want. Welcome to episode 99 of the Loke and Jabroni Show.
And welcome to the Loke and Jabroni Show, as always, live and in charge and in your face, the GOAT podcast of the East Coast.
Nobody's going to dispute that.
No,
ever.
Can't
Ever.
Can't take it. We are the GOAT podcast, my friends. So, how's everybody doing out there today?
I'm great. I'm floored that we found out there were actually 6 Stooges instead of 3.
That was fun, yeah. See, sometimes you gotta join us for some of these before
Curly,
talks.
Mo, Larry, Curly, Shemp, Bobby, Cindy, Peter, Jan, and Marcia.
Joe and Joe.
Yes. Oh, wait. Marcia wasn't a stooge.
But, yeah, so there was 5 Howard brothers, although 4 of them were only actually ever together. And one of them, when they brought in, I believe it was Jack, they said that Curly was a passenger on a train on their last feature film. So that was the only time they had actually 4.
One day soon we'll have
Did they let go of Jack?
They must have let go of
Never
Jack.
let go. I'll never let go, Jack.
Jack.
I'll never let go. That door was big enough for both of them. That bitch is fucking selfish.
She was. She was spread eagle on that thing. She's like, oh, don't go.
There's not enough room.
Speaking of Titanic,
Bill
Paxton passed away, age 61.
We're so sad about that, too, man. I'll tell you what. He was
good at whatever he
You know
did.
what's funny is somebody was, it was Ryan. Ryan was over here yesterday, and he was like, oh, my God, look at all these movies he was in. I can't believe it. And he's going through the list, and it's like, yep. And I can see him doing every one of the roles. You know what I'm saying?
There's nothing he couldn't
Obviously,
do.
besides Aliens, I absolutely loved him in Aliens. Just, oh, my God, what a
Weird Science, classic.
He was classic in that, too. Chet, in case you guys forgot. But, man, who can forget the Jackal in True Lies? You know what I'm saying? Was that when
Carlos?
Come on, man. Yeah, he was known as the Jackal. Remember when he was like, we know all about you, Jackal. We know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. It's been well documented. Oh, yeah.
What a sci-fi really piss his pants. Come on, man. Just the way that
I've got a line of women to get laid.
I got a little dick is really pathetic. The fucking roles that this guy played. It didn't matter if it was a bit part. It didn't matter if it was a great part. He knocked it out of the park.
I don't know if you guys saw, but the show Big Love, I love that show. Like I
never watched it.
I watched that beginning to end about the Mormon family and the plural marriage.
You know what's funny? It's
great show.
Some actors, they get into it. They have a great show. They start coming around, and then they just flop. Adam Sandler, one of them, hits it huge, and then he just kind of like disappears. Bill Paxton, he just kind of like stuck around, man. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't major. You never was like, oh my God, check this out. You know what I'm saying?
I have to go see the new Bill Paxton movie.
Right, exactly.
No, but he always did great at what he did. And I thought, in my opinion, Twister, he was just spot on.
Another person who reminds me of a lot like that, who started off really small and then is kind of big now. Blacklist, the main character from Blacklist there.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I just
Stumped the Libertarian. Look what you did.
Yeah,
Good job.
The Pretty in Pink guy, or 16 Candles, one of them.
yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking. Well, anyways, he's freaking been in movies like nonstop. He was in Boston Legal, for crying out loud, with freaking Shatner. To actually work, aside Shatner and actually glow is kind of huge as itself. But he's another one of those guys. He started off really small and just kind of stuck around, and he's just he's big, and that's kind of like what I felt.
It was Ultron.
That's
James Spader.
There was a guy. I want to say it was William H. Macy,
and he was Ultron.
He was in every time
awesome
you turned on a movie, there was William H. Macy, and you never remembered William H. Macy's name. It was always that guy.
No,
it's that
funny?
guy again.
After Boogie Nights, I loved him.
I was going to say I always remembered William H. Macy just because of that whole, and plus I work with the freaking
and I gotta say he was the only one I liked in that superhero movie.
The one
with
there.
Ben Stiller.
Oh, the unfortunate retarded gentleman gimmick.
I don't remember.
Mystery Man.
Mystery Man, and he was the shoveler.
Yeah,
honey, I shovel well. I shovel really well.
Yeah.
Horseshit.
Should have won the Oscar.
Obviously, he's in that new show. Well, not new now, but Shameless.
Shameless, which is based on a UK show.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I've never
fuck
seen
the English.
I wonder which one's more shameless.
UK aren't English.
I was going to say, do you think the UK
English.
is more shameless, or you think English is more shameless? We have to ask actual people which one is more shameless.
Because we're all about
is
facts.
UK more shameless, or is USA more shameless?
Ooh.
Okay, so big shout out to Bill Paxton, of course. You will be missed, sir. Absolutely. You glow. Any role that you did, you really did. You made us smile, man.
Even if the movie was shitty, he was good.
Should be noted too.
Cow.
Bill Paxton was considered
the cow.
Another cow. Oh no, wait, that's the same cow.
Bill Paxton was considered one of what do they call it? The unofficial James Cameron stock company.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Whereas, it's like he needed to fill a role. It's like
what Bill's doing today.
Michael Biehn, Bill Paxton, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Gary Busey, when he wasn't batshit crazy yet,
which was like for 3 weeks.
Actually,
in the 80s.
Cameron's never worked with Busey.
That sucks.
No,
everybody.
But
should work
Busey
with
was
Busey.
an '80s whore. He was all over the place in the '80s. I think that's the reason why
fucking Buddy Holly, bro.
He ended up with the coke problem because he worked so hard in the 80s.
I remember him being Buddy Holly, but I most remember him from DC Cab. One of the shittiest movies.
Never actually
saw it.
So
fun. Oh, you got to get out.
I just remember. Maybe I caught him later, but I remember him from fucking Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, all right. I was going to say that those are the three that I most
one of his
associate
best
him
roles,
with.
though.
When he was like, and they're fucking beating the shit out of each other. Come on, man.
And for those 8 weeks he was sober in the 90s. When he did Surviving the Game, his character was the fucking best.
Oh, with Ice-T?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
his
I love that
character
movie.
was the best.
You know what's funny? You sit back and you watch that movie. Do you know how much Oscar talent was actually in that movie?
F. Murray Abraham, Rutger Hauer. Who's the guy who's in everything now? The cowboy dude from the movie. He's now a comedic actor mostly. I'd have to look him up. Gary Busey's in that movie. Ice-T is it? I mean, just you're right. Oscar talent.
He was good.
It was like that was before Expendables was cool. That was the Expendables. It was
really
like, wow.
And the storyline is great. It was not a feel good movie, but at the end to see the guy with nothing, a man with nothing's got nothing to lose. He's going to take you out.
It was what they should have done with Jean-Claude Van Damme's Hard Target.
Yeah,
which I thought was trash.
I'll buy it.
Great idea, trash ass movie.
Yeah.
Oh, so Bill Paxton.
Is
Bill Paxton, in your opinion, a irreplaceable character actor? And there's a few. There's somebody that can do anything.
You know what?
I'll put Leo in that.
Let me just say, no. I love him. I think he's a great actor. He's like he's one of those fly by night guys. You know what I'm saying? You catch him every once in a while. He does a great job in what he does or what he did.
I don't think there'll be someone like him.
No, absolutely.
The way he delivered. You know, there was a movie I was fond of. It was called The Last Supper, and he's in it like in the beginning and like for like 10 minutes. And he's like the plot line that sparks these college kids into like poisoning every right wing nut job they can find. And he's the first one. And one of his opening lines in the movie is Hitler had the right idea, and then it just gives you an idea where he goes, and he turns out to be this crazy freaking survivalist type.
Right. I have to read the comment. Jen says, it took me well into my adult life to realize that Gary Busey and Nick Nolte were two different people.
They are?
I thought they shared a brain.
You probably do. That's probably what happens. You catch one of them when they don't have their brain in their head. So,
if I had that Nick Nolte mugshot right now, I'd put it up on
God. Oh, my God. And then they go and type him. They freaking cast him in freaking the Hulk. Like, whoa.
Just Hulk.
That explains it all, okay?
Well, I'm going to tell you what's on my mind is spring training baseball started today. Fan-fucking-tastic.
I'm excited.
The weather's warm. Uh-oh, Ed's got the one on.
He's doing sports already.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Baseball's back. The weather's nice and warm here, but it's even warmer in Florida and Arizona where they're playing.
Absolutely.
I just saw the scores roll on my Facebook feed today. The Yankees look pretty sharp. Some of the younger guys, they didn't play the full roster. I'm sure the Red Sox are going to be...
Oh, we're going to be phenomenal.
Exactly. You guys got some pretty good off-season signings.
Great off-season signings. A lot of people, it's funny, people brought up a big question. Who's going to replace Poppy?
You don't replace Poppy.
Exactly. You don't replace Jeter. You don't replace Poppy. You don't replace Textera. You don't replace Veritek. These are people that you don't replace. What you hope is that some of these young kids step up and become the next elite player.
Yeah.
They become the next, say, Mookie Betts. They become the next, whatever.
You don't start them off with that kind of pressure.
You
like,
can't.
Hey, you're the next pop.
You
Yeah,
can't.
you
And,
can't.
and it's always those guys that come in, like in the 80s for the Yankees with Steve Balboni. Well, this guy's the next Reggie Jackson. Already you've put 400 pounds of rocks on his back.
Let's be honest,
You'll
dude.
never live up to
Poppy's
that.
his last season was what? Who
Insane?
Who does that? Who does? I mean, you pretty much carried the team.
He
to
may
the
or may
end
not.
Of,
He may not have gone out a champion, but my God, he
In
looked
my
like
eyes,
one
he
going.
did.
Oh, absolutely. But he went out.
Holy crap! His home runs.
He went out
his
with
batting
MVP
average.
numbers.
I mean, yes, he did. In fact, he didn't get it. It was only because we didn't make the freaking World Series. I stand by that.
How do you?
man.
He should have been at least in the top 3 in voting. I think.
I agree. Just for what he did, just for it being his last season. But
Question comes in about what did you think of Daytona?
that was gonna be my hey, what's up?
Nice.
Actually,
Blame the listeners.
I'll tell you this. I was cooking for I want to say the first third of it, and I was listening to some of these new rules, and I was just getting used to this whole new setup because, obviously from last year, I hadn't watched it for almost 8 years or whatever it was. So getting caught up to how they did the new thing and going into the chase for the cup thing, and I finally get everything down, and they go and they fuck it all up again. And not only do they fuck it up, like it makes no. I mean, it kind of made a little sense towards the end, and when you but I mean, dude, there was no cars on the field at the end of the fucking race. Like,
I'm trying to remember the graphic was.
wasn't it like 12?
At one point, and they kept showing the graphic when you watch it back. 12 cars are without damage. 8 cars are without damage. 5 cars are without damage. And then right after they put that up, one of those 5
One of them
cars
got fucking
wall.
wiped. I was like, oh, you need to stop, guys.
Which usually happens at a Bristol or a Talladega, but not at Daytona. You get your one big one, everybody the rest of them come out clean.
I think these rules really...
It emphasizes being near the front more rather than we talked
I was
about
gonna
it
say that.
last year when we watched Daytona and Harvick was starting, I think, 7th, and you watch him drop like a stone, and you looked at me like, is he done? I'm like, no, he's dropping back. He's going to weed it out. He knows what kind of car he has. It takes him 5 laps. I know I've got juice. I'm going to drop back. All the drama is going to happen in front of me.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to bust through. And
I will say, there was I don't know who was it for. It was 40. Whoever Kurt Busch, whoever he schooled, dude, he left his underwear on the tracks.
I think it was, wasn't it? Oh God, what was his
Is it
name?
the rookie? Was it the rookie?
No,
because the rookie came in second place, right? Didn't the rookie?
Kyle Larson. He's in his
Yes.
3rd year now.
Okay, 3rd year, but he's 20.
Yeah.
So he started when
Second or
he was 18?
third year. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
They're schooling him young now. There's no more Rookie of the Year Dick Trickle at 43 years old. Seriously.
Wow, that's funny.
How do we feel about the stages? I kind of like it, but I think it's going to take me 4 or 5 races to really embrace it.
I think that's why there was so many accidents in Daytona, dude, is there was so few cars on the field, they got ballsy and started getting that top speed pretty much all race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So then they were up on each other's asses. I mean, you saw it nonstop. What's Low Boy there?
Jimmy
Johnson.
Yeah, great of him to wreck half the fucking field.
Dude.
Cockpit.
But it wasn't like you watched that replay and the guy was up on his ass. I mean, literally like up on his ass. That's how fast these guys were going.
Mm-hmm.
And they were literally at one point, there were 4 high, like 4 side by side. Come on, man. You can't, like Talladega, I can see it happening.
It's a wider
you know
track.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. But 4 wide on a fucking Daytona track?
And
are you guys just asking to get fucking wiped? Like, seriously.
But when you think about the fact that most of these guys came up through local circuits and did heat racing, it's not a strange thing for them. It's a strange thing for someone like
a strange thing for
Kevin
us.
Harvick. Well, yeah. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Matt Kenseth, who have been doing this on this level for 17, 18, 20 years, to go back to the basics, to go back to the beginning. Kenseth, who comes out of Wisconsin, they would qualify, and the fastest qualifier would start last.
Right.
So you got the stronger car. It's up to you to get through the field. I think that's the way
sense.
It should be in NASCAR.
Absolutely
all the
makes
time.
sense. Absolutely.
I don't feel
agree.
bad. I don't feel like the stages are going to hurt. I do feel it's going to take a little getting used to.
It's going to definitely take some getting used to. I still was like, when I was sitting and watching, I was still confused as
And when
fuck,
you see that the winners of the first two stages were not even a factor at the end of the race, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick weren't even
Moonshine.
didn't even sniff the top 10 at the end of the race.
I got to say this, though. Fucking thank God, fucking Joey Logano. And did you see that little weasel on the bottom, man? I thought he was going to pull it off, man. I thought that little weasel was going to pull it off, man.
Kurt Busch took that high side, and when everything's on the line and you need the speed and you got somebody behind you pushing you, the high side at Daytona is the way to go. Watch any old race where there's a last lap pass. Last year with Denny Hamlin.
Yeah.
2007, Kevin Harvick. Go back to senior winning. He was out front. Guy tries to sneak up underneath him. He went way up high, hugging the wall. And then when he got far enough out in front, he just coasted. I have a feeling, and I think that was 98. I bet he took his foot off the pedal and just went, I'm going to win this motherfucker right here. It's not going to hurt the sport. But changing the rules every freaking year, changing the way the sport is viewed is going to hurt. And it's been going on now for about 10 years. Every time they have a hair across their ass, we're going to change this. The damage clock is a problem. Yes. You can't go to the garage anymore. You got to fix your damage on pit road, and there's a clock. And if you pull out and you come back in to fix the damage, you're still on that clock. They just restart it. I think that's stupid. I do like the fact that if you go behind the wall, you're done.
Yeah, that should have been that way for a long time.
Mm-hmm. But so that's my take on the stages.
Like I said, I think it's going to be confusing at first, just like you said, I think a lot of things, but I think it'll work out. I think in the long and the short of it, I think it'll work out.
Oh, yeah, and if you guys want to buy any fantastic NASCAR gear, go to www.lokiandjabroni.com, click on the Amazon link, and find all your favorite NASCAR gear. No hidden fees, no extra charges, same great shopping. Guess what? Amazon's going to kick a butt hair of that money back to us to cover all these wonderful gizmos we have here. And it's fan-fucking-tastic.
It is.
You can also check out our Fandango link for movie tickets, Zounds for audio equipment, and don't forget WWE, because next week we got Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson from Something to Wrestle With coming here to talk to us via the magic of Skype.
We love it. It's going to be exciting. Exciting stuff.
Biggest Loki and Jabroni show ever. And I said it. I stand behind that shit.
I got my notes right in front of me.
Yes. Timeline is everything. Don't ask him about shit he wasn't there for. Because he will say, I wasn't there. I can't comment on that. I wasn't there. I listen to his podcast all the time, and I crack up laughing. Conrad and Bruce are worse than us sometimes. And I don't say that in a mean way. But when they get into it, boy, do they get into it. And there's fuckface this and cocksucker that, and it's funny as fuck. But at the end of it, they're like, okay, let's move on. Let's do it. Much like we do.
No, absolutely. Major point. Exactly.
Right.
So, today's subject is the lovely state of Connecticut. For those of you who have never been, or have been here and left, Malloy has done quite a doozy to this beautiful, once beautiful state. And if you guys haven't heard about our lovely little state in the center or in the east coast of the beautiful world of America, we're about like this big as opposed to like New York and Maine and Vermont
or Texas
and all these people around us. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like
New York picks up all of New England.
Right, besides Rhode Island, that's it. That's why we pick on Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is
much.
The pimple on the ass of New England.
They really are. There are hemorrhoid.
Correct.
So go ahead and take.
We love all our fans of Rhode Island.
We do actually.
Take the moment, and they love us. That's why I say it. take the moment to go ahead and look at the map or Google it if you've never seen it. Okay, now that you're done.
Actually, most of you should have had a geography class as a kid and can identify Connecticut on a map. So if you've ever lived here, visited here, have friends here, maybe you just want to come here. Don't fucking do it.
Everybody has governors. Everybody has mayors. It's part of the state establishment that allows us to speak with our legislation and our government directly. That's what these people are here for. That's what they're supposed to do for us. Governor Malloy, our friend.
He's your friend.
Our confidant.
Not my governor.
He's not my
confidant.
Hashtag not my governor.
Our person who is slipping
The God King.
off the edge of the earth and holding on just by 3 fingers. And what does this gentleman decide to do at the beginning of this year? Oh, how can we count the ways? Well, number one, let me start off with my favorite. About 4 years ago, you can go in and get your license to carry.
Mm-hmm.
For $50.
Yep.
As long as you took your test and you went through a course, and the course was like $50 or whatever it was.
Then there's the background check, which was
exactly.
$50.
But then they gave you a coupon when you were done with the course for a $50 refund. So it's pretty much like getting the course for free. Fast forward another 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Marijuana is now legal as far as medicinal reasons.
Yep.
You can, as long as you get a card.
It's decriminalized.
Right. It's there you go. Decriminalized. You can pretty much essentially go in there as long as you have a medical card and you can get it from these.
And they give you X amount. It's not like you can go and get 40 pounds of Lebanese blonde hash to cure your fucking glaucoma.
Malloy at this time decides it's a great idea to say, okay, well, if you have a medical card, you are not allowed to carry. And if you already purchased your carry, you don't get no money back.
The only exceptions to that rule is if you are, say, how do you want to say it, public servant, a cop, military. That's the only exceptions to the rule. You could be a retired cop.
I want a high cop.
Well, no, I'm fine.
Driving around with a fucking gun.
Here we go. It's the fuck the police Eddie Triggered show. I am triggered.
I'm triggered.
Get the warning up.
So before he gets super triggered,
because the shield eliminates your humanity and you become a Kryptonian.
You see
before
what I have
he
to
gets
do?
super
Yes, Joey,
triggered.
not your governor, man. I'll give you credit, Joey.
Now we are here 2 years after that, and this genius decides. Oh, hold on. And when that happened, by the way, he also increased it to $100, $150 or whatever it was. Now it's up to almost $300 fucking dollars to have, and this is for a year. This is for a year to carry, to protect your family, to have a pistol or whatever it may be, whatever reason you have to have it for. And we live in some crazy ass fucking times. Our lovely governor decided, hey, if you want this, you're going to pay $300+ for it.
Then you know why he's doing it, because he's covering his ass, because he's lost $1 billion of our fucking money doing stupid shit.
We are currently New York price for cigarettes, which I'm glad as fuck. I quit those like almost 3 years ago to the date. Thank God for that one. We are one of the higher taxes as far as the 6.35.
I think New York's the only one that's higher than us.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Everybody else, well, I mean, New York is, you got to think the population alone. I mean,
you would think though the population would make them cheaper.
New York City alone has a bigger population.
Well, I'm just saying, you got to think they what you're supposed to use these taxes for are the streets and everything else. Which, think about it, New York fucking streets get fucking used pretty fucking
frequently
all the time. Sidewalks, the thing. So all that thing, definitely goes to that. Connecticut decides that we're going to run a bus. We're going to spend $3 million on a bus system that goes from New Haven to Hartford and to stores.
Okay.
$3 million for this fucking bus system. Do you know how many people to date use this?
Probably not as many as they thought.
Well, they thought like thousands.
Okay.
We're going to be using this. To date, under 100 people use this bus system.
Nice.
And he wants to increase to go from New Haven down to Bristol too now. or Milford. No, it's Milford.
Oh, so now
because that's where he's from.
Now
that
we're
Milford
catering
area.
to the few instead of the many. We'll talk about that later too.
So there's a couple things for you to chew on, to gnaw on. I know you're already triggered, so.
I'm not. Eddie's
just
triggered.
I was just having a lengthy discussion about taxes with our buddy Jason, who's listening right now,
Yes.
and probably knowing that I'm grinning here. And I'm like, you really think the government's the best one to figure out where this money should go?
Right. Guys,
Yeah.
if you like the Loki and Jabroni Show, go to Facebook and find Mr. Murica, Murica, The Bearded Truth. He does semi-daily video rants, and most of them are great. I dare say not all of them, because there are some where Mike and I are just on the other end of the phone asking him questions to piss him off and make him laugh. But they are pretty informative. And he will blend fact and opinion. He's not just going to come out here and say, this is what I think, and fuck you if you don't like it. No, he gives a pretty good cross-section. Sometimes he says, fuck you if you don't like it, especially to Ed.
She's never said that to me.
No?
Never.
I typed that. I'm sorry.
So, what do you got from our fine Gov?
Well,
I gave you a nice little,
On the gun permit thing, especially, I actually don't even think it's revenue he's thinking of, because I think his gun legislation didn't work.
No, I'm pretty sure it didn't.
It didn't. Gun sales doubled, actually, in the state of Connecticut because
absolutely.
he did that, which
Exactly.
always happens.
No, exactly.
So he's like, well, I got to make it more expensive to get one, obviously. Which leaves, and this is what bothers me even more. So let's say you double the gun permits, all right? You take guns out of the poorest communities, which are robbed the most.
Right.
And you put guns in the hands of elites. And you know how I feel about that.
yeah.
Right.
So,
well, not only just elites, you put them in the hands of criminals. You put them in the hands of drug
criminals
dealers.
are going to get them no matter what.
Well, exactly.
Right,
But,
and the
but
old
these are also
argument-
people that are going to be able to afford it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You're higher ups, so people that do get these.
Or you're going to force people that are in these really bad areas like Bridgeport and Waterbury and, there's bad parts of Wallingford who are going to be so scared that they are going to acquire a gun illegally. And
Right. And
they're
that's
going to end up in jail when they defend
That
themselves.
was the sign on many a lawn back in the mid-'90s when they tried to do the same thing, is if guns are outlawed, only outlaws will have guns. And I truly believe that. I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment. It was put there so we could protect ourselves from invaders and tyrannical government, which it seems like the tyrannical government now wants to tell me you got to spend more money even though you're on the straight and narrow. No, we're just going to charge you even more money.
Jason Stapleton on his show is fond of saying an armed society is a polite society.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is. It's a very polite society. You're right about that. People watch their fucking mouths pretty fucking
The
much.
viral video that went up a couple weeks ago of the guy with the concealed carry permit at the convenience store, and the guy goes to rob the convenience store, and he didn't shoot. He pistol whipped the guy.
Yeah.
Foiled the robbery. Done. He wasn't being a jackass. I see a robbery in progress. I acted. Boom. Done. That's the safety that you have with an armed society. Legal armed society. Not some jackass crackhead with an itchy trigger finger who wants to go out and rob people
And let's
so he
be
can get
honest,
another
he
rock.
could have had an itchy trigger finger. That
Sure.
guy could have been like, all right, I'm going to blast this motherfucker. Or I can sneak up on him and pistol whip him.
Yep.
He chose the latter and not only saved a life, a criminal's life, I might add, but he also
Foiled the robbery.
Right. And saved property damage.
And on the same video, you get people going, he had no right. Who does he think he is? Let's take, for example, the young man that lost his life here in Groton some weeks ago, Joey Gingerella. Just going outside, sees a guy whooping his girl. He goes to step in. He's shot. He's dead. They called him JoJo Nice. This is a guy who did everything for everybody. And because some jackass who thinks, I got a gun, I'm the toughest motherfucker on earth, a good guy lost his life. This jackass tried to flee to Canada.
By the way, he had it illegally. That was not.
Yes, he did. Great to bring that up.
Just another point.
Your
Go
legislation-
ahead and throw your $300 fucking curbs out there, buddy.
Your
He's still going to fucking find a way.
legislation's working, Governor Malloy. Good
Yeah.
job by you.
Yeah,
The real
that took a
problem,
gun off the
the real
street.
problem here is, and you see it in this election, and you see it in all elections. And the guy I work with, I love him to death. He's a great guy, but nobody will vote out of their party, no matter how horrible he is. Nobody liked Malloy. He was reelected with a really low approval.
Oh,
approval rating.
absolutely, absolutely. I still to this day, I don't care.
Congress got elected with an approval rating lower than the British had when we started the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Okay, so people like the party politics have got such a hard grip on people, and I don't claim to be entirely impartisan. I push one party, but
Yeah.
it's a party with no real power yet.
I'd like to push one party off a fucking cliff right about now.
Right. And
Just a couple people.
And right now,
Most of them,
I
yeah.
think right now there is a dead even split in our legislature. I think the Senate is evenly split, Democrat,
that's what I heard.
Republicans. And I'm not saying I like Republicans anymore, but there's no check and balances when you have a governor that can pretty much say, I want to do this, and the legislature is like, okay. No, there needs to be debate. There needs to be discussion.
Yes.
I want
that's going to go into everything we talk about
I want
tonight.
these fuckers yelling at each other. Like, I don't care about civility. I want these guys yelling at each other.
I want them calling each other cocksuckers. I want them to be like,
want
yo,
it
you
like
fucking
British
suck.
Parliament. Now, those guys know how to get shit done.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Because they don't fucking agree with themselves. They turn around and they say, you're a fucking asshole.
Exactly.
If you think that this fucking works, you're a fucking wanker, and you need to go fucking blow yourself, you
'Cause, like,
fucking cock
We
munch.
Bloody lovely.
We mentioned Bridgeport. The guy from the representative from Bridgeport should be yelling at the representatives in the rich part of town, saying, "I got people freaking dropping dead from like gun violence."
They're
gang
coming after
violence,
Malloy.
whatever.
There's a lot of the
They need to.
a lot of the, let's say, what they call the waterfront cities are not getting halfway pulled with this quote unquote budget that he has planned as much as the littler people are considered. So these smaller towns are completely getting fucked. They're turning around and they have to give all this money to the freaking governor or to the government, and that's all these towns have. You know what I'm
Too many
saying?
people, and it drives me nuts. Too many people are one issue voters. There are too many people that are one issue voters, and
Yes.
sometimes, like, I wish, like, you got to understand, you might risk some things because some of these people are ideology bound, but you need to remove people and say, no, you're gone, put in another one. If that one doesn't do right, remove them. You need to go back and forth if you have.
Oh, yeah,
to.
and that to
absolutely.
me.
Sends a message.
Until
Right.
ideas stick and until
Right.
things start making a change.
It goes back to the prison they want to build in name a town in Connecticut. And the people go nuts. Well, not in my town, but if it's over there in Edstown, it's okay.
What
And
about
then
the baseball stadium that we just paid millions for that a game hasn't even been played on yet?
Exactly.
You know who played?
Nobody.
No, 5 people, and they got arrested for
Oh,
playing.
yeah, that's right. We brought it up when I think it was way back in the early 1800s when we did episode 6, where if a guy breaks out of prison, he ain't staying within 5 miles of the fucking prison. He's gone.
Yeah.
So if you live next to a prison, you're pretty freaking secure. So stop saying not my town. Well, it's okay if it goes into your town.
I live like 6 minutes from the low security
in being
prison in
the same-
Brooklyn.
Yeah, I used to live
Yeah,
right down the way. Same.
Right.
I was more secure. I felt more secure there than I would if I lived 15 miles away. Because guess what? They're going to come near your house.
The same piece of shit.
She's waving. Hi. How are you? Oh, that's fine. Here we go.
Jerry.
When the town of Montville was talking about a halfway house, they wanted to put it near the prison, but everyone was like, no, you're not putting those criminals near us. And then the same thing happened when we had the public safety building put up. They didn't want to put up where it was. Everyone complained about it, and if you think about it, where it is actually a perfect spot because the car washes across the street from it were hot zones for drug deals. So actually putting it in where it went made the town safer than, everyone going, no, it shouldn't be there. It's actually better for them.
Well, just like our point with
Lady J, ladies and gentlemen.
the awesome guy who went through every avenue to get that gun to shoot Joey. All legal and everything.
Oh, yeah. He went
where
legal.
where do they find him?
Backofatruck.com. He
Not-
went to...
not in Connecticut,
no,
though,
he went
right?
to Canada.
Right, exactly.
He didn't stay around.
He got the fuck out of here. That's exactly the
Look,
point.
recently we had the Amber Alert go off.
Yeah, where the
with the
fuck
little
were they
girl-
found? Pennsylvania, dude.
They're
they
not
don't
staying.
stick around here. They get the fuck out of here. If you're a smart motherfucker, if you're a smart criminal, you're not staying here. You're getting the fuck out. That's
the old saying of the criminal always returns to the scene of the crime is horseshit. They run, motherfucker.
No.
They're gone.
That's serial killers.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
All right, I'll buy that. But the
And that's-
jackass
and
who
that's more
robbed
of
the
an ego.
7-Eleven
That's
for
more of an ego
$600
kick.
gone. He's not staying within 5 of his crime.
But what if he forgot his Powerball?
Well, he can buy it somewhere else. You just grab $600. He can go somewhere else.
So, I have a theory. If you rob a convenience store and then you get a bunch of scratch-offs at wins, Can you still cash them?
I'd go right back, cash them outside. How about that?
I'll tell you what. If it's enough, then absolutely they can pay for the damages.
Yes.
You can go back and say, here's the money I stole from you.
A couple of comments from the Peanut Gallery. Jason says, Alaska and other states who allow concealed carry just by owning usually have less attacks than those with heavier gun restrictions like Chicago.
Well, New Hampshire just did that. They just passed the law, so they don't even have to have...
New Hampshire's been pretty lax. That's just them.
No shit, you don't even have to have car insurance, for fuck's sake.
This is the argument... There's no jobs there. That's the only downside.
Yeah.
I've been actually pushing this. The role of government should be to figure out how to give people the maximum amount of liberty, not take it away.
Right.
That's the problem. You have the opposite happening here.
Right, which Will brings up in his point. Arming everyone makes areas safer, especially if it's a guy like you or me or Mike.
It makes people safer. It makes people happier. You know what happens when people are happy? They go to work. You know what happens when people go to work?
The economy rises.
They fucking spend money. Exactly. They fucking go out. They do shit. They want to be around people. They want to fucking do things.
Let's ask Cop Hater Jones real quick. Who do you want to protect your house? You or Sergeant Flatfoot?
Definitely me.
All right.
Well, you know your house better than anybody else.
Exactly. And if you're armed with very little restriction and... Again, what is the help me with the word, the phraseology here? Somebody breaks into your house, you give them one warning. We're a one warning state, aren't we?
No, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
No, we're not.
I have to research this, but I think the law is if you have an avenue of escape, you have to take it.
You have to take it, right?
Okay, I didn't know. I thought we might have been one of the one warning states.
No. We still have that. He's right. You still have that one fucking.
Like this place here is a single family house. There's avenues of escape. There's like 3. So if Mike were to shoot an intruder, I think they'd have, if they were carrying a gun, you can shoot him.
If there's imminent danger,
because it's what do they call it? Level.
It's a level
force.
playing field, right? It's a level playing field.
But if some guy comes in with a crowbar and you just start shooting him or whatever, you can get a lot of trouble.
All right, I'll
which I kind of think is bullshit because
he's in your house.
Going to Cop Hater Jones. A cop's allowed to make a decision within a few seconds and face no consequences, but your average citizen makes a decision in a few seconds. He's a criminal.
Well, because he does criminal motives.
That's why that's another balance of power that I have issues with.
Fair enough.
So our buddy Lemoy.
We're just going to change his
call
name.
him Lemoy.
The great Connecticut God King. I already said
King.
it.
He is. He is the God King. He is the God King.
You know what? Here's the thing. I don't mean that affectionately. When a governor, president acts like a king, that's a problem.
I agree.
No.
Period. Things are supposed to be decided by the legislature and executed.
It didn't work for King Ezekiel and Walking Dead, all right? It's not going to work for you, King Malloy.
Whoa. I haven't watched that yet.
He's behind.
No spoilers.
Listen. All right. So we got Jackass Malloy, which I absolutely if he doesn't get the fuck out, which I believe that isn't it like close to him being fucking impeached? Isn't there like a
impeached
he's got to be guilty of a crime.
He's got to be found.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I thought we could boot his ass out if he had a big
either
enough.
a crime or against the charter of the state, which is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Like Clinton did commit a crime, but he went
he
through the
lied
impeachment.
under oath. That's why he was
okay.
impeached.
Right.
He lied under oath. He was impeached by the House, and it was overturned by the Senate.
Right. Okay. Thank you for correcting me.
So we recently
same process here, if I'm not mistaken.
We recently had what they called an immigration takes the day off to show everybody what was going on, because if they didn't show up for work, then this whole country stopped. Well,
there was a business owner that fired all his people, by the way.
Dude, there was a lot of people that did that. There was a lot of people that
as well
if you called out, you got fired. Malloy protected those people in Connecticut. God. If those people were fired from a company, and it did, a few people lost their jobs because they called out. Malloy stepped in and saved their jobs.
Connecticut is an at-will employment state. They can let you go for any reason, within reason.
As long as you're not in union.
Right. And if these folks lost their job because they called out for Immigration Day, why is he stepping in? It's an at-will state. We have rightful cause to let you go.
Because he's saving the only voters that... See, people like us, We're done. We're done with Malloy. You asked a common person on the side of the road, hey, what do you think about Governor Malloy? And you're going to get...
Well, Malloy is actually like the second or third in a series of governors that's challenging the president and about just undocumented people.
Right,
You know?
absolutely.
Now, full disclosure, I don't want to deport a bunch of people.
No.
I don't. They're here.
They got families.
Right.
I mean,
You know,
Let's
I
put them
agree.
through the vetting process.
I think
I
that-
agree. You have
well,
to.
I don't
You do have to integrate them.
give them a visa, like get them work.
Right, you have to
visas, so-
integrate them. Right, there is a right way to integrate these people into our society, but you also can't make them feel so afraid that they don't go looking for this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you turn around and you say, "Hey, we're going to have a setup so you can come get your visa," or when they tried to do that license thing, remember
Yeah.
when they fucking said, "Oh yeah, you can come get a license," and then they fucking end up deporting people because they were like, "Yeah, nice try."
The bait and switch.
Yeah, exactly. Now that's not.
Here, this is my my issue, and like I said, I'm not a big pro government guy, but I'm a very pro Constitution guy, and one of the roles of the federal government that's actually designated by the Constitution is a uniform method of naturalization. We talked about that this week. Okay, so the reason for that is so that Connecticut doesn't have a standard, Rhode Island doesn't have a standard, Massachusetts has a standard, and those people can just come down to Rhode Island or Connecticut for different reasons, like just for sake of argument. Let's say Rhode Island doesn't mind if you have polio or whatever, like some kind of really bad disease. They don't mind if you come in with that, but Connecticut doesn't allow it. But you can go over state borders freely.
Yeah.
Right.
So the reason for a uniform method of naturalization is so that every state is the same. Okay, and that's in the Federalist Papers. Madison and Jefferson talked about it. Okay, because every state there would have been a bidding war for labor.
Yeah.
Right.
And there could have been an active war between states. Like, believe it or not, that's a thing. Like, Connecticut could declare war on Massachusetts.
That would be awesome.
It is a thing because we're sovereign states.
That'd be fucking awesome. One of the comments from the Peanut Gallery again: criminal illegal immigrants versus illegal immigrants that are otherwise abiding the law. I think the former is more suited to deportation.
What, criminals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, of course, absolutely. I mean, that's a
They-
no-brainer.
honestly,
Well, let's go back to that Amber Alert. That guy had been deported once already, was here illegally now, and had warrants
Before
out.
that, what about that jackass that fucking killed somebody? Let him out. He fucking leaves the country. He come back in and fucking kills somebody again.
Right. The murder that happened in Norwich last year. Once again, undocumented, illegal. Look, again, Mike, you've talked about it before. You work with some guys who are here on some less than on the fringe
expired visas.
circumstances, but they're
And
busting
out of
their ass.
let's say out of the 50 people that are illegal, I want to say 8 of them had made the right steps. I've been in this company for 8 years now, and a lot of these people, they come and go. But these few people went through the process, and let me tell you, dude, it took them like almost 6 years. Mm-hmm. Almost 6 years from the step
There
that
is
they.
a problem with our process, and it
It
needs to be
really
fixed.
is. It really is.
I don't think
mean,
anybody would disagree with that.
Right.
like to make. I mean, we do have the Statue of Liberty for a fucking reason. I mean, it's out there for a fucking reason. We are the United States of America for a reason.
Does anybody
we did
know what
have
the
the
plaque-
oath? Yeah, exactly. Bring us your tired, your
Il
weary.
Priebus Plurnum.
Bring us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free.
Exactly. That's what we've always been. America is just that. We're a melting pot. You throw us all in together, and we get this great country.
We are a nation of immigrants,
Right.
let's be honest.
We get this great country. But that's the problem. When we sat there and we said, okay, everybody that we just said, give us all your masses and become free. Then we closed the borders. Then we said, nope, that's it. Nobody else comes through here. And we're going to make it really fucking difficult for you to become a fucking citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The problem with the closing, it wasn't like we just closed the borders. The problem is we kept building up our welfare state.
right.
You know, so it's like, okay, there's still a lot of opportunity for people, but
Drop sick kids, get
if
your
they-
life for free.
kind of, yeah, you know,
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
because it's not necessarily that the government will pay for it, but no hospital's going
And
to
then
turn
don't
them away.
forget, they fucking come into
And-
our country
right.
and a child is born in this country. Now they're a fucking citizen.
Yes.
They're a citizen in this country.
The child is.
They're
right.
naturalized
So
citizens.
exactly. So if we throw her fucking parents out, now we have an orphaned American citizen.
And we're
But,
not taking
you know,
care of that kid.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something funny about that?
That's funny.
If
An
they-
orphaned American citizen. That's funny.
It gets worse than that. So the parent that gets deported can try to come back in 10 years. That's the law.
Right.
If they do come back in 10 years, they'll get charged with child abandonment and thrown in jail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They're like, well, you came here illegally.
Bait and switch.
Right.
Bait and switch.
Exactly. And
It's not bait and switch. It's the truth. You came here illegally. You had a child knowing you were here illegally. You abandoned the child.
Right.
I'm not saying that's right. I don't want to do that. Like I said,
that's how they do it, man.
I don't
That's
want to do a
fucking-
bunch of mass deportations because it's too expensive.
It's ridiculous.
It's gonna destroy people.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to destroy communities.
Right.
Not just people.
Communities. Economies. Just your
sorry.
average morale is going to go down. Well, if that happened to him,
I'm going to say this,
and I'm an immigrant, and I have my papers, and I'm good, and I'm naturalized, what stops them from doing that to me?
Not just that. What stops them from for bullying you?
Right.
What stops them from constantly stopping you every day going to work and slowing you down just to look at your papers?
Let's go back to September 11th, 2001 with the terrorist attacks. And in the weeks and months that followed, yes, Americans joined hands and joined hearts and said, oh, we're all American. God bless America. United we stand, divided we fall, yada, yada, yada. And the Muslim community and the Arab community were all harassed. And,
nonstop.
And nobody asked, hey, are you legal? Hey, where do you live? Oh, you were born here? You just happened to
care.
be up? No.
We had something we could point our fingers at.
It wasn't we. And I know
about.
when you say we, you're painting with the broad brush.
I am.
The very large general population.
Because we say we the people.
And
that's exactly when we say we the people. We're not just saying me and Chris.
Right.
Me, you. We're saying we as a general population. This is what we are doing. This is what we're thinking. This is what's going on.
Much like my point when I make it in just a little while, it's the smallest portion of the population, like the backwood redneck KKK motherfucker who was out there just harassing an Arab guy for the simple fact that A, he's Arab, B, our attackers were supposedly, whether they're Arab, Muslim,
they're
Islam,
from Saudi Arabia.
Right. But at the time, no one has all the facts. It's just, oh, you're brown skinned, you got a little sticker dot on your forehead and you wear a turban, you're an asshole, I'm going to kick your ass.
Well, let's be honest, dude. Some of these places are getting overtaken. I don't know if you guys saw that freaking video, where it was, I think it was England? And the guy was saying, I grew up here. It was a Chinese guy was actually recording him doing this. He's like,
oh, Tommy Robinson.
Yes.
I know Tommy Robinson.
I grew up here. He's like, I could walk here with my mom and I could go get a pack of cigarettes. He's like, now I can't walk down the street because it's pretty much it's owned by ISIS essentially. And he was like, he stopped and this guy comes right up to the fucking.
It's not ISIS.
Well,
but.
I know, but that's what he's saying. That's what he was saying.
I understand where he's coming from.
But no, he did. He literally stopped this and this guy fucking walked right up to his fucking car and started fucking harassing him, dude. Fucking slapped him right across the face and everything. I mean, it was like. It was insane.
And then they all started swarming.
Yes. I was about to say that. That was the worst part.
When he said, watch, they're going to start coming around. And they did. They were fucking, it was like a fucking nest of bees, man.
I want you guys to think about this, and I know it comes up a lot. Muslim, Islam, those aren't races, okay? I don't want to hear the words Muslim race or Islamic race ever again. If you are an intelligent human being, you need to strike it from your vernacular today. Those are religions. And like with every religion, there are extremists. You have Islamic extremists, Muslim extremists. You have Catholic extremists. Fuck, you got Catholic priests diddling little boys with little more than a slap on the fucking wrist.
You have Mia Khalifa extremists.
Right. You're welcome.
I couldn't believe she took the whole thing.
How many times have you seen back in the day, you could stay up late at night and when you're done playing your little PlayStation or N64, you turn on the TV, and there's some crazy preacher on TV is, I can save the world and F the black people, F this and F this. All you have to do is reach into your pocket and send me your money.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah. I trust you, buddy.
I want to throw this out here because I'm kind of sick of it too. If, you actually prove your case that not all cultures are equal, stop bringing up the fucking Crusades.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
What was that? It was 1262, so that's, wow. 900 years ago.
Look,
all the time.
the Crusade was faker than fucking Orlando Bloom's character in the Crusade movie.
Wow.
Okay?
Well, no, that actually happened. But,
it did happen.
But no, I'm just sick and tired. It's like here's the thing, Muslims are killing Muslims. The worst enemy to the Muslim community is other Muslims.
Themselves.
Other Muslims. Okay? Because it's like Catholicism and Protestants, there's different belief sets in Islam, and they tend to literally fight with each other. And you bring that up, and the first thing is like, well, Christianity had the Crusades. Okay.
900 years ago.
It took Christianity like at least 300 years to get beaten into submission into what it is now. Like, if you, here's the thing. We don't have a big problem with Christian extremists. The Amish are Christian extremists.
Yeah.
There has not been an Amish terrorist attack.
Not by an Amish, no. There's been attacks against the Amish.
Oh,
yes. The schoolhouse shooting.
For years.
Our government is now attacking the Amish because he sold a natural remedy.
Yeah. Heaven forbid you do Big Pharma wrong.
Oh, hey. Heaven forbid you come up with a fucking car that runs off the water, too, huh?
Right? Heaven forbid. We do something right for the people.
So anyways, we're going to take a quick break, and we got some topic that's going to really piss some people off.
I hope
when we
it
get
pisses
back.
somebody
I
off.
swear.
Share this video now.
I swear.
Share this video now.
Because this group of people is the last group of people that Malloy is really trying to rope in and save. Because these are the only people that are going to fucking vote for his ass.
And these people have proven in the last 3 weeks to be the biggest bullies on the beloved internet.
And the biggest snowflakes I've ever seen.
I'm going to have to apologize to everybody for the long break. Here in the Valhalla Entertainment Complex, none of the bathrooms are labeled, and I'm not quite sure which bathroom I'm allowed to use. So tonight's hashtag is hashtag not my potty. So let's talk about...
Well, it was actually my fault. I was fucking with you. I changed it from the men's side to the woman's side, and every time he went up, I changed it from the woman's side to the men's side
And
again.
now I'm confused. I don't know which potty I'm supposed to use anywhere in the history of ever.
But it's Connecticut. You could have slapped me with the Malloy card.
I could have. I could have said I can use that potty because I have a right to, because I identify with Paul Abdul and Gloria Estefan.
But you have to be a child.
Yes.
You have to be a child. You cannot.
Let's preface this because I am going to rant and I'm going to talk over people and I'm just going to go fucking nuts. Our 4-hour car ride.
Chucky Luca.
Our 4-hour car ride opened up the floodgates of this one.
Solo.
Jabba the Hutt. Nice. Let me state for the record that I do not wish ill upon anybody. I believe everybody has individual liberty. I believe everybody should have a right to be happy. It's in the Constitution. You have a right to the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. What you do not have the right to do is...
Actually, correction. That's not true. You have the right to pursue your own self-interest.
Exactly.
Which could be happiness.
It could be.
What if murder makes you happy?
What you don't have see, that's where we've gone. We've talked about this before. I was like, well, what if murder makes you happy?
Well, that would violate the life part.
Yeah, but what if you read that first?
But that's your pursuit of happiness.
If you don't read the whole thing,
What if you just stop there?
then you did not.
What if you just stop at
All right.
pursuit of happiness?
Connecticut, your children are safe, according to some people.
Fucking Loki.
Before they even hit puberty and know what sexuality means, your 6-year-old girl can call herself Dan and walk into the men's room and, well, she can't pee standing up, but she can go in there, by golly. And, hey, you know what? I don't want to leave anybody out. If little Dan wants to decide he's little Deborah now can walk into the girls' bathroom, hang out as Johnson, and do his business.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I have a really serious question.
Go ahead.
So, like, sometimes when I go number 2, I take a number 1. So does that mean I pee when I sit
It means
down?
you sit when you pee. Hashtag not my potty.
So I'm like a woman? So I'm like a lesbian?
Oh, we'll get to that.
I'm like so confused.
Here it comes, guys. Look, the bathroom issue to me is it's a horse shit. If you can pee standing up, you know where to go. That's that.
But I just said I pee sitting down.
We are a nation of 325,668,274 people based on 2016 statistics. Okay? 2016. I want you guys to start writing these numbers down.
Because it's 2017.
Right. But these are based on 2016 statistics because we're only, what?
And that's
60
one
days
difference.
into the year?
Yes.
Okay, so we can't get those statistics right now.
No.
In America, all of America, the lower 48, Alaska, Hawaii, and if you want to throw Puerto Rico in, we're certainly going to
Puerto
do so.
Rico is a state, man.
It should be a state. It should
Puerto
be the
Rico at
51st
this fucking point
state.
is a state. I don't give a fuck. It's like if you're fucking hanging out with, like if you're like with what is it? If you're with your girl for 8 years, 9 years,
Common law marriage?
Yeah, you common law married. There you go.
So if I wear heels for 8 years, I'm a chick?
Well, I don't think they have a common heel. They don't have a common chick method. You know what I'm saying?
Common gender, damn it.
Yeah, but see,
Hashtag not my
we've
gender.
been fucking with Puerto Rico for so fucking long. They just might as well become.
I'm going to give you some more of these numbers before I go completely off the fucking train, the crazy train. The transgender, gender dysphoric population in America is 1.4 million. That is just slightly higher than the population of our smallest state, Rhode Island, with a population of 1,009,904.
That still blows my mind.
About
1 million people sit in that little fucking.
Oh, do you remember the quote I gave you on Friday?
Yeah.
500,000 people live in the Providence or Greater Providence area.
Exactly. So they
500,000 people live in that 30-mile stretch. That's a lot like New York City. You got this little.
Oh yeah, they're all up.
Yeah, high rises. So that population translates to 0.6% of the population.
I like it.
Let's break it down. The African American population in the United States of America is 37,685,848 based on 2016 statistics. That accounts for 12.2% of the population. By comparison, the Asian population is 14,465,124, accounting for 4.7% of the population.
What?
In Connecticut alone, there are 12,400 estimated transgender or gender dysphoric people, which accounts to less than 1% of our population. Want to break it down even further? How many people have heard of Amston, Connecticut?
Yeah, it's right down the road.
Okay. The population of Amston is 9,000.
20 minutes.
9,686 people live in Amston. So what you're going to tell me is that 9,686 people who live in Connecticut can tell the other 3.5 million people that live in this state what to fucking do? Are you out of your fucking minds? And I'm looking over. The viewership is rising slowly. That's good. Let's break it down a little further. The population of the United States of America, men versus women. Here we go. Of the people who answered this poll, I think it was in the last census, which was 2014. Am I doing my math right?
Could be.
Okay.
It's every 4 years?
Yeah. So, okay, I think it was 2014. Our next one's going to be next year.
Right.
I haven't taken one in over 10.
No, it is.
I do
think
every time.
It's every 4. Yeah, it's every 4 years.
I just haven't gotten sent it.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought they sent it to everybody.
No, they're supposed to. I just didn't get
yeah,
it.
they
Okay.
usually send it in the mail. Like,
I've always filled it out, and honestly, I haven't gotten it since I lived in Norwich.
Okay. The percentage of men who identify as heterosexual in the United States of America, according to the last census, is 97.4%. The homosexual men in the country account for 1.6%. Bisexual counts for 0.8%. On to the women's side. Women, heterosexuals, account for 97.7% of the population in the United States of America. The homosexual community accounts for women 0.8%. The bisexual women account for 1.4%.
How many out of all of them?
Wait a minute.
Just,
Whoa,
how many
hold
women
on.
out of
I
all of them
knew
just like
somebody.
boobs?
I knew somebody was going to pull the woe card on this. Thank you.
I'm just saying, bisexual. Okay, you say the men say that it was 0.8. It was 0.8.
0.8% of men in America in 2014 said they were bisexual.
And
0.8%.
And it was like 1.8 of the women.
1.4%.
So why don't you add those together? Because aren't they both bisexual? Doesn't bisexual
Great call. So that would be a
right?
Two,
Am I wrong on that?
So 2.2% of the population of
right,
America
are bisexual.
Are bisexual.
Right?
Correct. Here's my problem. Governor Malloy says little Dan can go into the little girl's room and little Susie can
And
go
you can
into
even
the
add
little
up
boy's room.
the homosexual. So take homosexual women and homosexual men and
Okay.
add that together, and
That would be 2.4%.
all right. So take those two numbers right there, and that's less than 5%, right? Mm-hmm. Give or take.
Yep.
Less than 5% of the population is trans, homo.
Trans, bisexual.
Not like both. I'm just saying trans, or homo.
I'll add that point. You know what? I'm going to add that point
Can
6.
I interrupt? Just
3%.
Yeah.
I've said this to many people, and I just want to put it out there. Like, why is transgendered included with sexual orientation? Like, why is it LBGT? Because a gay man has about as much in
What is
common.
the Q in that? Because I've seen LG.
Queer.
Oh,
Queer, yeah.
They still are okay with being called queer.
No, they
No,
consider
it's-
an orientation queer.
Right, exactly.
I don't fully understand. I don't pretend to, but
No, it's because
I'd like to
no,
ask-
this is my feeling. I think it's because it's been around so long. It's just common.
Well, that's
you know what
queer.
I'm saying? It's like,
I think because I
You
think
see what I did there?
yeah.
I don't know. Queer always sounds like bisexual to me when it's described. Like they don't care who it is.
No,
Like,
queer to me has, and this is probably with my uprising. Queer has always been.
Well, that's the derogatory slang, but
Right, absolutely.
Like, no, I mean they have an actual definition for queer now, and to my knowledge, it's someone who does
I don't
not
think
care
there's-
about gender.
I don't think there's a single one of my
But-
uncles that has ever used
wanna ask-
"stop being
but-
queer"
Right.
in front of me. You
Just
know what I'm saying? I'm just
I had an uncle called me a queer bait because I wore a Yankees t-shirt.
pretty boy.
Yeah,
you know what
pretty
I'm saying?
boy.
Come on, man.
Before you go too far in this, though, but like I've always had this issue with the LGBT thing because a gay man has about as much in common with a trans person as any of us do.
a gay man has just about as much in common as a gay female.
All right. See,
Well, I'm just saying, like
I'm saying the same thing. I agree.
It's orientation, it's
I agree.
sexuality,
right.
and transgendered is about gender. And like even Caitlyn Jenner said, she still likes fucking women.
She still has a dick.
Oh, God. here we go.
Remember,
He still has a dick.
Remember at the interview. Remember in the interview.
I know. I remember.
He's just like, no, I'm not gay. He said, I'm not gay. I love women. I've always been married, had kids.
If
and
you're
all that.
living your life as a woman and you still love banging women,
He still has a dick, dude.
and he's a lesbian.
He
right?
still has a dick.
no, he's a freak, is what he is. And I'm leaving it at
He
that.
still has a dick.
There's 10
I'm
more
sorry.
feet to the
Still
wall.
has a
I'm just
dick.
saying, like there's a clear
Yes.
divisionary
Absolutely.
definition between sexuality and
People-
gender.
My question is, I'm just going to ask the question, and I want people, if there's anybody who's a gay American watching this show, or a gay any country if you're watching this show right now, or you're listening to it on iTunes on Saturday, just tell us. Want your opinion. Why is it okay for a small butt hair of the population to tell probably 300 million people what they're supposed to accept? Because first of all, let's say we had 8 people down here
It's
right
not.
now. 8 people, and Mike says, hey, I'm cooking dinner. Here are your options. We got steak, we got chicken, and we got pork. And everybody around the table tenders a vote, and one person says, no, I kind of want salad. And that's what we're having for dinner. Well, guess what? If that guy gets his way, that's not fucking liberty. That's not democracy. That's not freedom.
That's me kicking you out of my house.
Well, especially if you pick salad over those other great choices.
I'm going to call Domino's because Domino's going to bring you a salad for fucking $6 in delivery fee, motherfucker. There's your
No,
salad.
they're going to give you a bowl full of iceberg
Why are we?
lettuce.
Why are
3
we?
slivers of carrots, 2
Right.
cucumbers, and this package of nasty ass dressing that fucking
Somebody's ordering
making Paul
salad
Newman
from Domino's.
making Paul Newman roll over in his fucking grave. Dude,
You don't know. You don't even get Newman's
when I was
own.
low carbonate, I ordered chicken wings and salad, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You don't even. You know what? You
Oh,
don't
that's
even
awesome.
get Newman's.
This is fucking salad that Boy George wouldn't toss.
You have fucking Wishbone. Nice dropping with the Boy George gimmick, by the way.
I love that. Tossing salad, baby.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care how you live your life. If it doesn't feed me, fuck me, or finance me, you live your life. But don't tell me what I'm supposed to
You
accept.
can't. Well, that's just the point. Is you can't.
Well, you can't legislate acceptance.
Right. Exactly.
You can't legislate morality either.
No, you can't. Well, in morality, acceptance, they
Oh,
all go
well,
together.
Same.
It all goes together.
It's the
One
same.
of the things I brought up earlier in his point, and I said it, the biggest bullies in this situation right now are the trans and gender dysphoric community. When you get on one of these threads,
I disagree.
I'm going to tell you why I think this, and you can disagree, but if the coward hadn't deleted the bullshit, I could have shown you clear as day.
That's just one
I brought
out.
up these same facts. But wait, this is out of my experience. I brought up the facts. And I says, look, pee where you want to pee. I don't care, but don't tell me I have to accept it. Did anybody allow me to vote on this? Did anybody allow me to have a voice on this? Because quite frankly, I might have said, yes, pee where you want to pee. But nobody asked me. Of the people, for the people, by the people. Am I correct? No, it's become of the people, for the people, fuck you if you disagree. And that's exactly what it's become.
By some people, yeah.
Majority. I'd say
A majority.
45% of this fucking...
But I actually, here's the thing. Like, I actually don't even think it's the transgender community that's making this a big deal.
I think it's the friends of.
It's the college age white guilt-ridden.
It's the friends of.
Right. It's the white guilt-ridden group of people that
they're not transgender themselves. They have no affiliation with it at all, except for they're their friends, and they feel bad because their friends aren't speaking up.
And they're waving a flag for something they aren't a part of.
Speaking up because they don't give a shit either.
Look, I can't wave a flag for the Tibetan rainforest. I can certainly donate my money and say, hey, go save your rainforest, but I'm not directly affected by the Tibetan rainforest.
Just look at their heroes, though. Look at their heroes. I mean, I know a lot of people like Bernie Sanders, but he's another one of those people looking for the next victim class. Hillary Clinton, looking for the next victim class. Like, all these people.
Governor Malloy. Looking for that next victim class.
He's part of the same clique. He's part of the same
And
clique.
if he wants those 12,400 votes of the people that live in it.
He just got them.
He just got them. Absolutely
exactly, baby. And you know what? They're going to show up and vote for his
One of my
ass.
points that I made, and I read it to him right after I typed it, was the following. I don't care. But what you're doing is you're opening a floodgate. So if John decides tomorrow he wants to be Jane, or he's been Jane all his life and he has fought that battle inside of him, yes, live your life as Jane. But what you're opening the door to is some pervert who wants to diddle a little girl to get in a dress, shave his face, make himself up all nice, go hide in the bathroom at Chuck E. Cheese, and prey on an innocent child.
I don't think that's even an issue.
It has happened.
Can I just say this?
But it's already happened.
Can I just say this?
It's going to happen anyway. A pervert is going to put a dress on regardless.
Exactly. But now you're opening the doors. Why were you in that bathroom?
Look, if a chick wants to walk into the men's bathroom and use the fucking urinal,
here's the thing.
More power to him. I will fucking stand behind him.
Here's the thing, though. I can walk into a men's room. I can walk into a men's room, reach around and grab your fucking dick and go to jail.
You could.
I belong in that men's room. I can still go to jail.
Sure.
Okay. Whether or not, and I'm not, I think it, ultimately I think it's up to the property owners. If I own a business, if I want to let transgender in whatever bathroom, honestly, fuck you, shop somewhere else if you don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's the way I feel.
But what Governor Malloy is saying is that no, you have to now open your doors.
No, it's for schools.
That's
okay. So
that's a problem with
a
public
9-year-old who has
Right.
not yet reached puberty, a 9-year-old who doesn't understand sexuality.
And it's also for children. He's protecting children.
Oh, he's not protecting a fucking thing. He's confusing.
Well,
the
this
children.
is what he's. This is.
You've hit puberty. Your sexuality is coming out. You're learning your body. You're learning who you are and what you want. Yeah, then I'll buy it.
Here's the thing.
Not
gender,
for a 6-year-old.
Again, going back to what I was saying, gender and sexuality are two different things.
We were raised up around it. It wasn't like it wasn't
it's not
like a
like
big
we're
fucking
blind.
thing. It wasn't like it was fucking hush hush.
I thought I was fucking Captain Kirk for like 10 years.
That was the drugs.
Did I get the toupee? Did I get a toupee? No, I didn't.
That was the
No,
drugs.
actually.
That was all the drugs.
Do I talk in broken language? No, I didn't.
I would get a fucking.
I would have though. Who am I lying? I still want to be Captain Kirk. I mean, fuck, man.
No, but seriously, man, it's not like we weren't surrounded by this stuff. It wasn't like we didn't see homosexual activity. Yes, it was a little bit more hush hush back then, and maybe it was shunned upon in a certain way. But it wasn't like trust me, if families knew about it, it wasn't like we bashed them. It wasn't like we went out of the way to fucking slam these people into the fucking ground. No, we fucking supported them, and we still support them to this fucking day. You don't got to be an asshole to support your friends.
This is why I think it's more of a political game than everything. Because I've been a rave DJ for like 12 years. I've pissed next to more transgendered people than I can fucking count. Okay, and they didn't seem to have a problem pissing next to me in a urinal.
Right.
So,
hey,
like. I really don't think it's the trans community that's up in arms. Like you said, it's their friends.
Yeah.
And friends of friends.
Yeah.
And they're saying
who seem to think they need to protect these people
or speak up for them because they're not
from the
speaking
big
up.
bad straight cisgendered male,
right? Who actually isn't doing anything.
That
it's
MTV
fucking,
says is the fucking enemy.
Exactly.
When did MTV say that?
I advise you to look up the video. White guys stop it.
Okay.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah,
because
I reported that on Twitter as racist.
I seem to remember.
That's a good call too,
I seem
by
to
the
remember
way.
in the early
That's a very
'90s
good call.
was the first season of The Real World, and they had the gay guy living in the house, and he caught some shit, but the majority of the house were like, look, he's not bothering you. Leave him alone. The kid dies a couple years later from AIDS, and there's, and it was Pedro, thank you. I couldn't remember his name. Let's go back a few years before that. Matthew Shepard, the kid in the Midwest who got beaten and left on a fence, which opened up the eyes to how the gay community is bullied. And I don't doubt that the gay, transgender, gender dysphoric, whatever you want to call yourself, you have the right. You know what? You want to be a horse? Be a fucking horse. I've said it more than once on this show. Live your life. Don't tell me what is okay in my house.
See, I knew there was a real problem when around the time a couple elections back when Ron Paul was running. I had my great awakening. I was like, Grandpa Ron. I was like, I want to be like this man. and they asked him a question about the gay rights and stuff like that, and he had an answer that made so much sense to me. It was like, he's like, I don't see why the government needs to be involved in this issue.
Right.
And I was like, well, absolutely. That's right.
Absolutely.
Like, why do you need okay to do this, that, and the other thing?
There are young ladies that
People
come out
accused him of being homophobic for thinking that. Because it's not
because
enough.
they took what he said out of context and made it into something it wasn't.
It's not context. It's not enough to be able to do something. They want to force acceptance out of people.
It's an eye-opening. It's an eye-opening. It's an eye-opening thought.
Like the baker with the cake. The baker with the cake. It's not enough that. It's not enough that they won't bake your cake. You go to another baker. It's like they have to ruin that person using the government. Now, personally, I'm not going to use that baker
or social media.
Exactly.
You go on there and you bash them. By the way, they will not do this because
I actually have no problem with that. I have a problem with the government using the gun and ruining them because, in the end, if you're going to be that way, and people
it
talk
shows
shit about
what type
you,
of person you are.
Yeah, if you're
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'm not an anti-religious freedom person, but if you're going to be that way, there's going to be some consequences.
Of course.
It's called karma.
I look to those people who knock on you, used to anyway, I guess now.
Karma's not religion, by the way.
Right. Door to door would come to your house on a Saturday.
If you're Hindu.
Knock on the door and say, do you have a few moments to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Studied it in college.
You're not, I don't want to talk about it. Well, sir, you're on my property. You may leave now. You're trying. I understand you're coming door to door. You want to preach the word of your religion or your feelings or your this or your that.
The only religion that does that, by the way.
Once I say no, bye. Get out.
Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons.
Yeah.
Mormons not so much though. You don't
Not anymore.
We don't have a lot of them around.
Right. I was going to say they're pretty much.
But if you were out in Utah.
Isn't that where they drink the Kool-Aid?
No, they own the state of Utah.
Yeah.
Which is why I was surprised McMillan didn't win Utah in the election because he was in tight with the Mormons.
I got to stop you. This beer smells like weed. You might want to put your nose into that. This beer smells like weed.
Oh my God, dude, that is so awesome. I never realized that.
Don't drink my beer.
Speaking of beer,
I'm sorry.
I had a Wachusett winter lager at this really awesome restaurant in Worcester the other day, and it was fantastic.
Really? Worcester has some great restaurants, and they have some great brew pubs. So
that's where we're at a brew pub.
Isn't that where fucking potatoes come from? Is Idaho?
Yeah, Idaho.
Utah.
No, Idaho.
Oh, Idaho, yeah.
We just talked about this. Come on. Look, I get the fact that everybody has individual liberty and they want to do what makes them happy and what makes them feel right.
What's the population of Utah?
Somebody get on the Google machine and find out.
Sorry, dude.
Somebody get on the Google machine and find out.
That religion blows my mind.
How we went from chicks with dicks to Utah.
Because that's where all the Mormons are. You don't see them no
There was an extra letter that you didn't mean. You said morons.
No, but no, seriously.
2.9 million.
2.9 million.
Oh my God.
So can 2.9 million people all turn us to be Mormon?
Hold on. Let's let's say half of them are Mormon, right?
Half of what?
Half of them are Mormon.
I'll give you half. I'll give you 60%.
60%
I'll give you
are
the
Mormon.
entire population of Salt Lake City.
Hold on. So men, let me get this straight, right? Mormon men.
60% of the population in Utah is Mormon.
so 60. All right. So Mormon, right? It's the men can marry multiple, but the women.
It's a fun. No.
Women can't,
no,
right?
That is a sin.
That's a sin.
They'll actually tell you that's disgusting.
Okay, all right. So here we go. So here we go. So does that mean that family A, who is like, you know, George and his 4 wives, right? So you have 2.9, 60% of that. So
right.
Keep in mind, that's fundamental. That's extremist.
Right. So then you got this family over here with Larry, but one of Larry's wives is also George's wife by population, right? I mean, you can't have like.
Can they do that?
Utah's got to be like 80% women and like 20%.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
No, seriously, do the math, dude.
Somebody get on the number. Get your Google machine going.
I'm surprised that religion is not dead. I'm sorry to cut you off, dude, but that really just blows my mind.
I go back to...
They're all in one state. They bought the state, so number one, they won't get ridiculed no more. And now they got fucking...
I go back to being in the Army. And basic training.
You're the real MVPs, right? Mormons. You're the real MVPs.
Go back to Sunday mornings in basic training where we all went to church, and the closest church to our barracks, because we'd all been marching and pumping.
I didn't give a shit.
You
had a Sunday off.
Southern Baptist Church
Sunday
up the road,
off, baby.
So we would go and, you know, we'd hook up with the guys, and you go up to the church. And it was, and this is what was told to me by a gentleman named Washington. I can't remember his first name to save my life. It was Private Washington. He says, why don't you all come to the brother church? It's closer. And I looked at Bozeman, and Bozeman looked at me, and we went, yeah, let's go to the brother church. Fun time. And as we're all leaving and we're walking back to the barracks, I asked Washington, I'm like, can I ask you a dumb question from a northern white boy point of view? He's like, sure, anything. We all believe in the same God, yes? Yeah. Okay, I buy it. I'm like, okay, God, Jesus, you know, the Holy Ghost, et cetera, so forth. Oh, yeah. Why do we have to compartmentalize ourselves? Roman Catholic, Christian, Southern Baptist, fundamentalist,
Mormon.
Protestant, Mormon. Basically, on Sunday morning, we're all getting in the building, and we are looking to the sky, to this invisible man, and saying our prayers and, you know, feed us our salvation and all that other stuff. And I'm not calling it horseshit. There are a lot of people that buy into religion. I get it. We had this conversation on Friday. Why do we have to compartmentalize ourselves? Self-segregation. It's been going on for years. Self-segregation.
Oh, my God.
Self-segregation.
I'm sorry.
What
dude.
the fuck?
Well, the Mormons have a different prophet.
Yes,
I was going to say they do. Dude, no, I know.
And that's spelled Profit.
I'm my ass off. I'm fucking laughing my ass off because I can't believe like over 1 million of you stupid motherfuckers.
Now he's putting things on the wall now. Look at him go.
I'm sorry. Yo, you guys
I, Michael J. Trump, do solemnly swear.
Y'all are suckers, man.
I'm trying to remember the exact state. I think they said like Jesus was born in Georgia.
Yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous.
Wait a minute, whoa. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Christ was born in Georgia?
And one of the apostles was like Elvis.
I thought the apostles were Peter, Paul, Luke, Matthew, Bobby, Cindy, Peter, Jan, and Bobby.
It was Elvis, Janis Joplin,
Paul, Gene, Peter, and Ace.
No, fucking Jimi Hendrix.
John, Paul, George, and Ringo. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care.
The lead singer, Grateful Dead.
Jerry Garcia.
But
look,
like,
go ahead, Ed. Please. Stop the madness, please.
Basically, the Mormon belief. The funny thing is Joseph Smith.
Smith, there's a problem. Oh, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a bunch of horny fucks.
Joseph.
That explains it.
And the wall gets bigger.
Wow.
Bigger. Joseph Smith, not for nothing, was a creative guy. Like, you got to think of this. He convinced all these people that
a whole state, dude.
He inspired a whole religion
exactly
across the country.
So did Jim Jones. How'd that turn out?
Well,
so did David Koresh. How'd that turn out?
If somebody came up to you and be like, dude, I got a religion where you can have as many fucking wives as you want. The more kids you have, the more you're guaranteed to go to heaven.
Right. Not only that, it's a sin. It's a sin for your wife to sleep with another guy. So
I haven't even gotten to the best part. All the money your wives earn have to go to you first.
Yeah.
Wow, you got my attention. Money? What?
Who would not follow a guy like that? and they tell you Jesus was born in your own state of Alabama or whatever the hell it was.
Like
Wow.
the apostles were like
But
Jimi
he
Hendrix.
convinces people by saying,
Gene
like,
Simmons.
he read on these plates in his hat, like, he had to put his face in his hat, and he had his buddy, I think, Brigham Young.
Brigham.
Young.
Bring them young.
Brigham Young, kid. Yeah.
Write down the whole thing. And then, his Brigham Young's wife was like, he told you all this off of plates that he read in his hat. Like, yeah. I'm like, and she was like, I think hit the button. She was like, Brigham, I think this is horse shit.
Nice.
But she still fell for it.
You know, you're getting more use out of this button than I am.
And he was like,
weeks.
She was one of the first ones.
He said he read them out of the plates, and she's like, well, if he's telling the truth, then you should be able to get him to write them down again, and it should be exactly the same. And he hid the papers that he copied, went to Joseph Smith, and said, hey, I lost the papers. I need to copy them down again. Joseph Smith got angry, said, I need to talk to the angels again.
Wow. Look,
Came back and said the angels are mad that you lost the document, so they're going to have to read from these plates instead. And he bought it.
I don't think everybody who is religious, believes in religion, follows religion is an idiot. I'm saying that more often than not, the leaders are idiots. Let's go back to Oral Roberts back in the 80s, who said, I saw a 900-foot vision of Jesus in Tulsa, Oklahoma. No, Oral, you were off your medicine for a week, and you had a fucking hallucination.
The Mormons outbeat Scientology. All right, that's all.
That's another episode for another time. I'd love to get Leah Ramini in here.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. We'll go back to.
I'll email
we'll go back to Connecticut. We'll go back to Connecticut.
I got one final thought.
I blew it off the charts there. My bad.
You know what? The Mormons can do that
there we
to
go.
you. You know what? Speaking of, rest in peace, Bill Paxton, for Big Love.
Way to tie that in.
My final thought, and then these guys can go to town on this or bring up a new subject. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you pay. I don't care if you fuck a horse. I don't care. If you are not somehow directly affecting my personal happiness.
I don't want no centaurs. I think there's a reason why centaurs aren't on this planet
I think
more.
it would be nice to have a centaur just roaming around.
I think there's a reason why centaurs are not in this fucking planet, and there's no people people should not
I need to be
fucking
consistent.
horses.
I need to be consistent. You make sure you own the horse. That's all I say.
That's it. That's it. Don't go fucking your neighbor's horse.
I don't need a centaur, bro. I'm sorry.
You know, when the subject of gay marriage came up 2 years ago, I said, I don't give a shit who you marry. If you're in love, just chase your dream and chase your happiness. But don't tell me if I don't believe in it, which I don't care. I don't really care. Two gay people want to get married? Fan-fucking-tastic. Don't tell me what I have to accept. Because what you're doing now, unless you're paying my bills, don't tell me how to.
The funny thing is, most
If it
people
doesn't break my back or pick my pocket, Thomas Jefferson.
Done.
Most people are accepting.
Yeah.
It's when people start being flamboyant. That's when you get the instant reaction back.
Let's talk about the Woman March real quick.
And not
I
like
know we
maybe
brought it up
flamboyant
before.
isn't like, and that's not directed towards a specific group.
No, not at all.
Flamboyant is just exactly that. Or being,
You can be flamboyant.
Or being thuggish. Just throwing yourself, being cash me outside. How about that? There
Right.
you go.
I've been hit on by a guy before, and I just say I prefer the Gary Busey type.
Nice.
That makes him cry and run away, but
I was going to say, that's pretty scary.
they're so sensitive.
That's so scary.
There's a large segment of the population that I have a problem with, and it goes back to this point that
No shit, I don't believe it.
there's one of them telling me what I should and shouldn't think, or telling me what I should and shouldn't do, or telling me what I should and shouldn't chase for my own happiness.
Never go past the second knuckle.
No, I was going to say, I think once again,
2 knuckles is enough.
this is one of those Simpsons. Stop it! It's dead already.
Wait.
We mentioned this. I mean, every other episode. Like, we can't stress it anymore, dude. But really, like, people. Maybe this is the reason why we do this fucking show. It's y'all just need to love each other again, and y'all need to let each other just fucking live.
Pretty much.
Like,
Again,
that's it, man. Let each other fucking live. Like,
I know I'm beating a dead horse, but this is the kind of shit when you involve the state. This is what happens.
Right.
Everybody knows you're not going to please everybody.
you can't.
So you need, and here's the thing, tolerance is a two-way street.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, not only that, there's a reason why we have this voting in effect into the system, right? It's here for a reason. Now, we all can sit here like this show is about. Malloy sucks balls.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? When it comes to fucking voting for him, I know who I'm fucking not voting for. His monkey ass. You know what I'm saying? We are allowed to make choices. We're allowed to do these options. When you have state meetings and when you have state representation, you are allowed to show up to those things and speak your mind.
Utilize
So if there are things that need to be changed, it is out there. For you to go onto a social media and bitch and pick people out and fucking bully people on their own pages is not only immature, it shows that, and
because I didn't agree with someone, I was told I was willfully ignorant, uninformed, slack-jawed Neanderthal. Fuck you.
Well, exactly.
Maybe a little slack-jawed.
On to my next point. B, it just shows you how ignorant you are. It
Me
shows
or them?
you no them. It
The
shows
bullies.
it shows your upbringing. It shows that you are more than happy to. But point being, in general, and this is completely off subject, but. Saturday, I decided to take the boys out to play basketball. You know, so I write on Facebook, hey, going to basketball, anybody want to come join us? You know what's funny? I would have mentioned something about Trump, and people would have been running their mouths. I give you an option to run your fucking legs, and not a person fucking got, well, a couple people, you know what I'm saying?
I was at work, so I couldn't go.
But I know the people.
It's funny you mention this because this bully culture leads to a president like Donald Trump,
where people are just so fed up that they're like, okay.
Sometimes you need that strong voice. And here's what I want to bring up. And I know this. You said it not too long ago. I don't know if it was on air or off air. We really need to do another wussification episode because I honestly think.
It was on our trip home.
It was. Thank you. I honestly think, and I brought this point up to you, that we need a guy like Trump. I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying I agree with him. You all know who I voted for. So, again, somebody who calls me Trump boy again is going to get a size 11 foot dead in their cheeks.
You know what? I saw somebody said this. Like, the thing I hate the most, and this is on one of my libertarian boards, the things I hate about the whole far left group right now is that they're putting me in a position to defend fucking Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Exactly. People
here's why
push
I think,
you into a corner
when Trump
so
fucks
fucking
up,
far.
I'm going to call him on it.
Here's why I think we need a guy like Trump. And I agree
that's
with you.
just it.
I've done the same
People
thing.
are doing
He
it.
might be the hand grenade in a well-placed spot. Like, I don't think he's going to do a good job. I don't. But I think he's going to wreck things enough that we can start over.
Right. I want you to go back, anybody who is old enough, to the 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Reruns were always on TV. Do you remember Leave It to Beaver, Dick Van Dyke?
Nick at Night, baby.
Thank you. Oh, great. Oh, it's not the same anymore. You get Friends fucking 13 hours a day. Anyway, strong male role models. The fathers were, go back to Good Times, which was basic, for what it was. John Amos, in the 3 seasons he was on there, was a strong male father figure role model. When the dad spoke, you snapped to attention. And it wasn't like he was saying, go out and rob a liquor store. It was like, do what you're told.
I've always said that was a perfect example of a great family unit because the wife had a lot of pull with him.
Yes. It was equal. They were 50-50.
She was his anchor.
Yes. And he was hers.
Right.
Now, go into the 80s and the 90s where you got Cliff Huxtable, you got who I don't know what his name is on Everybody Loves Raymond something or other. You got Homer Simpson.
Raymond, yeah.
You got Alan Thicke. You have basically the father being portrayed as just another.
Yeah, Raymond wasn't a father.
Wait, he was a father. He had 3 kids.
Who?
Everybody
On the
Loves
show?
Raymond guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he had kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't want.
The kids were such a minor part of that.
I was
wait,
gonna say,
wait. No.
I caught like 3 or 4 episodes.
Missing the point. Starting, and I'm gonna draw the line at
He was portrayed father-wise. He was portrayed as a bumbling fool.
another child for the mother to raise.
Yes.
And now what you
They're
have
all
now,
like that.
right? But what you have now in 2017 is a culture of children who look at a father figure, whether they are biological father, stepfather, pseudo-father, step-in father, who is just another child for the mother to raise. The father has 0 fucking stroke at all. Heaven forbid, and it happens with my kid too, and I'm her fucking biological father. Em, you really need to do this. And then here comes the money barter. Em, take out the garbage. Well, can I have $5? Fuck you. You want a house to live in?
The capitalist in me is proud of her.
Women march.
Same here.
So we got women march equals women unifying for different reasons on an
They're fighting for
individual
rights they
basis.
already have. We talked about it. I want the same rights as guns. Really? Guns get locked up in a fucking closet. Guns can't go into every fucking restaurant. And
Men
in certain
have no
states,
rights
you can't
anymore.
bring your gun outside. Women, is that what you want? Bring it on.
So for $350, I can pull the trigger?
Yes, you can. And you can diddle her stuff, too.
$350,
Boom.
you sure can, buddy. And you can have a license for it.
Women are fighting. That women march was fighting for rights you already have, and that march wouldn't have happened if Hillary Clinton was the fucking elected president. Thank you. Fuck!
They wore a vagina on their head.
Fuck!
I'm sorry.
Look, I love women as much as the next guy or girl, depending on what bathroom I decide to use. Look, women and men are equal. The wage gap, we did the research, you and me, is a fucking myth. 85% of the major markets in this country pay women more than men.
Hey,
Why? Either because of skill or
men-
fear of a lawsuit.
No,
that
that's
number's
bullshit.
climbing.
Yes,
Dude,
it is.
It's climbing.
That's bullshit. Men make $1, women make 3/4, 2 dimes, and a nickel.
Pretty much accurate.
I never thought of it that way. I concede.
Yes. You heard it here first.
Here's the thing. This is a funny thing. Like when we say the wage gap is a myth, we're not saying there is a overall average gap in pay. The thing is, women have different circumstances to make different decisions. Especially if you're single and you've had kids, you're not going to be able to work 2 overtime.
Bingo.
You're going to have to take more time.
Happened to
off.
me today. They asked me if I could stick around. I had to stay. I stayed for like a half hour because I couldn't figure out the Sigma
Right.
thing. I got to go in
Do
early
that-
tomorrow
here's the
to
thing.
fucking.
Do those same surveys with a single dad where the mom's not in the picture. Do that same survey. I want to see how the number.
Oh, I
comes
could
out.
talk about that for hours.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
but
last
you
place
have
I
to
worked.
find them. You have to find them. You have to turn around and find them. I mean, that's just
They're
that's,
there. They're just.
Chris will
they don't
work.
have time to fucking answer these stupid ass surveys.
Chris, we'll work
Mike,
with you. We're going
fill
to
out
give you
the fucking
time.
survey.
No, right?
Chris, we're going to give you time. We understand you're a single father. You have your daughter 50% of the time. We're going to work with you. Working with me equated to six days a week, 70 hours a week, and I spent a couple hours
I
with
will
my
say
kid.
this, and if some people get triggered by it, whatever.
The gender
Tell you what,
differentiation
we'll
exists.
do it just once.
Go ahead. Trigger. Not just a horse. Trigger. Hi-ho, trigger. Trigger. I'm triggered. Safe
All right.
space. Snowflakes.
Most of the time,
wow,
of the time, these people aren't looking for equality. They're looking to be subsidized.
Yes.
You want somebody to pay money to put you on a level playing field. It is impossible for anybody to be on a level playing field. The only thing you can make equal is the opportunity.
Exactly.
Ryan posted that thing about the feminists today.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did. I loved it.
So
I like this.
this lady,
Look up Christina Hoff Summers. She's called the factual feminist.
Okay.
dude, listen. There's some feminists out there that I can listen to, and they make some points. And I will agree with them. I will fucking agree with them. Some of them are so full of shit, though. And those are the ones, unfortunately, that get the fucking backing. And then you get these people that fucking follow them, not only with just like with hammers and fucking tools.
Let's look at Hillary Clinton. You brought her up. Let's look at Hillary Clinton.
Sure. Bring it. I did. I brought her up. I certainly did.
Went through law school, became a lawyer. Proud of her. Great. Rest of the time, rode on her husband's coattails.
Yep. Still doing it.
Still doing it.
No, not so much anymore. But he got her to the point, got her in the Senate.
Oh, I won't do it.
Got her to a point, got her in the Senate.
Got her into the presidency.
Almost.
Got her in the running for the presidency.
Fair.
If she's not Bill Clinton's fucking wife, she's not fucking
If she
running
were
for
regular,
president.
wait.
She's not
I'll
running
buy
for
it.
their
I'll buy
royalty.
it.
They're
I'll buy
Democrat
it.
royalty.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll buy it. If Bill Clinton was never elected president of the United States, Hillary Clinton never runs for president in 2016. I'll buy it. I will buy it 100%.
She would have to be in the Senate a lot earlier than she was.
Right.
And then work her way up.
I will buy it.
And I am more than happy to vote for the first woman president. Matter of fact, I hope I get to do it.
Yes, I
agree.
want that
was
to happen
so
in my
mad.
lifetime.
I was so mad when Hillary Clinton was a nominee.
I think they're going to do a fucking damn good job. I think it's probably going to be after fucking Trump.
I actually thought, here's the thing, I thought she was going to win. Like, I really thought she was going to win. I was shocked.
When we did
We were there. We were
did the
there.
live feed on election night. You, me, and Rachel, who we just talked about. And we're watching this, and Ed and I are just in disbelief. It was like, I cannot believe the numbers that are coming in for Donald Trump. But part of that is because I think Americans are tired of the same
Middle America.
old political bullshit.
Middle America, the forgotten part of America. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Katie Elton, feminism now versus feminism years ago are two different things. It's not a positive thing
No, it
anymore.
isn't. No, it isn't. What was the thing?
Yes
You and I
no.
posted on
Yes
it earlier.
And no.
Go ahead.
There's a movement about female bodies, and I know there's a lot of people.
Yes, I'd like to move
on
on the female body. Absolutely.
Listen, I think it's
I vote
honestly,
yes.
I think it's ridiculous that everyone thinks women going topless is taboo. I do think it's ridiculous.
I encourage
but-
it. I support it.
You know,
Size A's to size Z's. I don't give a shit. Go. Whip them out.
Look,
you know
No,
what?
I didn't.
I
Don't
never
take that
mind.
seriously.
I think we've said it time and time again. If the person is comfortable, if the person is happy,
Individual liberty.
there's sexy and skinny, and there's sexy and bigger. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It doesn't matter how it looks at it.
I'll
Confidence is very sexy.
I will take that point and I'll run with it because there are larger. I don't want to say big. I don't want to say fat. I don't want to say chunky. I just want to say there's larger than the norm that America would force feed you to think that this is beautiful. There are very big and beautiful women. And there are some very small and ugly women because they look like a plank you're about to use to fix the loose board on your fucking porch.
Well, they're not utilizing.
But if you want to
You
watch the annual Victoria's Secret runway model gimmick bullshit schnabitzfarnham.com, when the girl with skittle tits and no ass walks out, they all go, ooh.
Taylor Swift.
But my
Thank
point
you.
is, there's a movement about the female body, and I support that. I think that's awesome. There's also a movement about females saying that they don't make as much as us. And like I said, they're absolutely right. We make a dollar bill. They make 3/4, 2 dimes, and a nickel. They're fucking 100% right.
Yeah. The only wage gap is between your fucking teeth.
You turn around and you ask some of these people, and there are some very strong fucking feminist beliefs in that.
I have a prediction over the next 5 years.
Prediction? Pain. Exactly.
Over the next 5 years, you're going to see if there's going to be a wage gap, it's going to be 90-100 because there are more women going into STEM fields than before. And those jobs pay a lot of money. They're very successful careers.
So our boy Will says,
go
I
ahead.
have zero faith in females running anything properly. Men have been the driving force for the construct of society for thousands of years. Let me hold on. Let me fire back on this one. When the Spartans went out to fight, every single one of them to defend their countryside and defend their right of living, who was left behind? The children and the women.
Yep.
And a lot of those women were pretty fucking badass. They were left behind to actually protect themselves. I will say I've always been a firm believer. I said it 2 shows ago. Women complete men.
Yeah.
Whether it be sexually, whether it be in the workforce,
Emotionally,
whether it be,
spiritually.
right? Exactly. Whatever it may be, women complete men in every aspect of every part of our fucking lives. We interweave
In
our
a
lives.
heterosexual society.
Look, we interweave our lives more than any other species out
your
there.
mother. You have.
I'll
your
buy that
grandmother.
too.
Absolutely. Out of
Every
any other
society,
species
any
in here,
But
we
speaking-
interweave more than anything else does. When do you see, like, say, a group of, besides a pride, the main guy sitting out there, he's a fucking Mormon. Think about it. Fucking lions are Mormons, dude. Dude can fucking around with all these lionesses. They go out and fucking get food. They don't even count. Lions don't count. They're Mormons.
Side note.
Fuck lions.
Side note.
Wow.
Scarlett Johansson recently said monogamy isn't natural. Me and Amy were like, let's talk more about it.
Wow. Hello. Good call on your part. Way to bring that up.
But my point is exactly this. We are the only species that really we're constantly interweaved. We are constantly interlocked. It's destined. It's fate. It's meant to happen.
Part to your point real quick is, and you kind of glanced on it yourself, Ed, is that if a gay man marries another gay man, you're right. There's that interlocking with the mother. You're always going to have a
always
connection.
a woman in your life. Or there should be.
But
there will be. There will be.
And
There's no way.
This is the part where I'm finally going to be politically correct. Can we say that the partner fills that need like the mother does? Because let's be honest, not every man is marrying a woman. Can we just be clear on that one point?
I I can't speak on
Neither can
gay
I.
marriage.
I'm kind of spitballing here.
I haven't had my first one yet, but
Yep.
you know,
Well, it's coming. Don't
I
worry
haven't
about
been part of one. Actually, I haven't. I almost did a lesbian one.
Woo!
Close to it. Where I don't know what happened. I think they decided not to get married. Actually,
Whatever works.
I'm just saying, like, let's say most people, there is some woman in their life, whether it be their mother and stuff. And for your friend, young Will, this is my rebuttal, and this I attribute this to Chris Han Hall. All these great men he's talking about in history were raised by a woman who stayed home and took care of the family. So they were the way they are because of the matriarch in their life.
All right, I'm going to read Will's comment. He's got another one. He says, once again, when I see women doing the same as a man, then she deserves the same pay. I worked as a laborer. The men did most of the lifting, and the women sat back and asked for extra help. So, in capital letters, who was actually earning the money? Men have to work twice as hard as a woman for the exact same wage. Ed, you take this one first. Well, Lady J says bull, so I'll buy it.
no, she said
That-
troll.
Oh, troll.
Trolling.
I have no problem battling a troll.
Will's not a troll. Will's a guy. Will. Look, I know Will. Will's a nice guy, but Will has his beliefs, and we have to accept the fact that he's allowed to express his beliefs.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the
fuck
thing.
yeah. No, absolutely.
If the women where he's working aren't pulling their production weight, that's honestly a discussion he needs to have with the owner of the business.
I think he's talking about back when.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just
in
saying
general.
that honestly, that's an issue with the owner of the business, either wanting to fill a quota, be diverse, or whatever. If you know, and that happens.
Well, like I said, I think
But
there's
again,
certain
here
roles.
it goes back to what I was saying. That's subsidizing women instead of placing them in places of value where the individual, let's say individual, would be better. Like,
Okay, Will, I didn't know it was 4 months ago. Sorry, bro. 4 months ago.
I'm just saying, like, people as individuals should be placed in, or they should go
Right.
for jobs where there's
I'm
some.
gonna-
Not only that. Not only that.
I'm
Go
sure
ahead,
there's
go
some
ahead.
women with 24-inch pythons that could probably work circles
That's what I'm
around.
saying.
it, you know?
There's people out there that actually would be
If they
good in
put
that
the work
job,
in.
and but you're absolutely right. It should be based on an individual.
You know,
So
there was a
if
little-
if you go up to
skill
him,
set
right, and if you
and
turn around and
performance.
if she is just kind of like sitting around and collecting a paycheck, by all means,
At-
management needs to get on
At
that
my
fucking thing
last
and get her
job,
the fuck out of there.
At
You're
my
damn
last
fucking
job,
right.
there was a lady. Her name is Marlon. She doesn't watch. She's not computer savvy. She does Facebook, whatever. She would lift these 70, 80, 100-pound parts and x-ray them. Hell of a lot better than some of the young kids would. And she busted her ass. And I would point to her every day. I could also point to a young lady named Jen who worked in the same place. Same thing. But those two females were the majority. There was one, her name was Shanette, who she would only work the light parts. Oh, my back this, my arm this, that. You can't ask me to do this. She was basically tearing the other two down. So from my experience, I buy it. Those women worked just as hard and in some cases harder than the guys. I'll buy it.
So that. Honestly, that's my opinion of when they talk about women in the combat roles. I'm like, okay, well, if that woman can do a fireman's carry of a wounded soldier, if they
I have
can,
no
if
question.
they can pass that muster, not only do I think she's capable, I think she should be on that front line.
Absolutely, I
Like,
agree.
The question is the question should be, first of all, let's be real, guns are the great equalizer.
Yes.
That's why there's a lot of women who are police officers that are phenomenal.
Yeah,
You know, I've gone to gun
And
ranges
snipers.
where I've watched
Some of
women.
our better snipers
Oh, yeah.
are women
Gun,
Some of our best pilots, women.
some of-
women.
when I've gone
because
to
they
gun
don't
ranges,
crack under pressure. Their brains are set differently.
Right. I've
than
gone
ours.
to
There's
gun
certain
ranges
things
with
that they
females.
do better than us.
I've gone to gun ranges with females. I've gone hunting with females, and guaranteed. And I give women a lot of credit. Their focus, no pun intended.
I don't think anybody's even
Their
gotten close to what
focus
Amelia Earhart
is
did back then.
fantastic. I've watched a girl take out a deer from 300 yards just below the eye, whereas it would take me 2-3 shots to do that.
I have this. I got to remember the name. I have this beautiful girl on Instagram who she's the Army of Marines, but she shoots all the time. She has videos on her
Oh,
Instagram clip.
you better
She's
watch that,
shooting,
Will.
She's shooting. She's bullseyeing. She's doing all this stuff, and she does it in a bikini.
Ooh.
That's
Nice.
fantastic.
I'm going to get to Terry's point real quick. I worked in a mill with men and women, and I got paid more than some of the men that worked there. I busted my ass and watched some of the men do the easy work. I worked for my money, and there is possibly a strengthening point to my example earlier about Marlon, about Jen, about some of these people that would do.
Hey, look, there's certain people, right? They fill the role, they do it completely, and they do it great. There's guys that suck at their fucking role.
Oh, yeah.
There's guys that are fucking horrible. I have one of them works fucking second shift. Fucking horrible. Like, I cringe when he's got to work the fucking night before because I'm afraid what I got to fix.
Oh, yeah.
When I was still in distribution,
when
I was still in distribution, I worked with a guy. First of all, I love you, Jeremy, but he was National Guard. He was a lot more fit than me, worked out all the time, sucked at his job. Sucked. And you know why? You know why? Because he didn't care.
Okay.
He didn't give a shit. He was there to get pussy.
Right, maybe.
He's like,
he did get a lot of pussy there now that I think about it.
You know, I got a guy that I work with now, and I'm not going to mention any names. If you think it's you and you're feeling guilty, fuck you. It doesn't matter.
It's probably you.
No. Squeaks by doing the barest of bare minimums. He thinks he's doing well. He makes it look like he's doing well, but he's not the guy sweating. He's not the guy dirty. He's not the guy at the end of the day that goes up and goes, wow, I really put in a hard day's work. I earned my money. Fuck.
Said
that.
Not him.
Yeah, basically. Welcome, first-time viewer, Emily Selby. Great to see you. 113-265. Tell me I got that right.
867-5309.
No. Trust me on this one. 113-265. She'll know. Look, we've got off the topic just a little bit. Let's go back to Governor Malloy in 2 minutes. And then I'll take a couple, and I'll let Ed take a couple before we go into top 10 in the end of the show. 2 minutes. If you were Governor Malloy, how does Michael/Governor Malloy fix the state without overtaxing, without impeding the liberty of the people?
Very easy. You go on live. You make sure you tell the state of Connecticut you're going to address the state of Connecticut at this time. You go on live and you say, State of Connecticut, I apologize. I'm going to give you all what you want. You pull out a 45 and you blow your fucking brains out.
Our Bud Dwyer, baby.
Fucking live TV.
All right. Well,
that's the only way you're going to fucking salvage this state.
After you show us your receipt for your overpriced gun
right. Guys, go look up. Go to your...
No, that's just a point. He got it illegally.
Wow. I can't stop smiling. Go to your YouTube machine when this is over. Look up R. Bud with 2 Ds. R. Bud Dwyer. And you'll see exactly what he's talking about.
No.
Is that the guy? Oh, is that
yes.
I saw that. Oh.
I'll never forget it. I watched it live on television. What a fucking sight. I was doing the math in my head, 12 years old. I've never forgot it. He was the basis for "Hey Man, Nice Shot" by
I saw it
Filter.
like six years ago on YouTube. I'm like, or
Fucking
not YouTube
sick.
because it can't show it on YouTube. But it was like
They can. You have to get around the "Are you 18 or older?" Yada yada. It's on there. Trust me.
because it's like watching a snuff film.
I know.
If more politicians would do that, I swear to God.
I know. Ed, if you have 2 minutes. If Ed suddenly became Governor Malloy, how does Governor Ed/Daniel Malloy fix the state of Connecticut without pissing off the most population of voters?
Hold on one second, real quick. Will, I agree with you, but don't forget, it's not just a cell phone program. They also have free internet now. If you were on the welfares, you get free.
Fuck me running. I'm in the wrong business.
You get free internets.
Yeah. That was a downside of the whole net neutrality bullshit.
You get free internets,
they
free
consider
cell
it a utility.
phones. Yeah,
now
free
I'm
cell
triggered.
phones. Yeah,
what the fuck?
No, so yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. But don't forget, there's more to that. There's not just that. There is more to it.
It's too bad we already had our trigger warning because now I'm triggered.
Oh, you didn't know about that one, huh? Oh,
I heard about it.
Yeah.
Fuck!
They get free internets and free fucking cell phones.
It's a utility and it's necessary for communication.
Oh, wait,
no.
Time out. Oh,
No, wait. No. Say it how Malloy says it. It's necessary for them to get jobs, to join the community. Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Are they getting you drive to the Department of Labor? They will let you use their computers. Anyone can
If you
use
go
their
to the
computers
fucking
and their
library,
database.
if you go to the library and you show them your fucking welfare card, they'll fucking let you use a computer for
you don't
fucking
even need a welfare
free.
card. You can just walk in and be like, "Hey, I need a job." Okay, sit down.
Right.
They'll show you all their
There's
databases.
fucking places that'll clean your
They'll
fucking
teach you how to do a resume
clean
for
your
free.
fucking suit for you for fucking free. And if you don't have a fucking tie, they'll fucking get you one for fuck's
People who
sake.
say they can't find a jobs aren't trying.
No, exactly.
Anyway, what was my question again? I'm
You
governor.
got
You're
2
Governor
minutes.
Malloy.
Governor, you are now Governor Malloy.
That was my 2 minutes.
How do you fix the state without pissing off the greatest number of people you can?
Is this like serious, or I got to do it as
No,
Malloy?
do it serious. Don't do it as
No.
because no one would understand you.
See, he doesn't know how to explain it. All right? You're
I'm the governor of Connecticut.
You're in
You
Quantum.
are.
No, you're in an episode of Quantum Leap.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you leap into Governor Malloy's fucking body, and you have to fix
Look at his
Connecticut.
face.
Sam, you gotta fix Connecticut to
the
leave.
guy in the box is fucking dumbfounded.
Oh boy.
That's a perfect.
Ziggy?
Oh, he's got Ziggy now. Nice. How do you fix it, Ed?
According to Ziggy, you've ruined the state of Connecticut, and you got to fix it or face nuclear destruction.
That's a great Dean Stockwell impression.
Love that show.
That was awesome.
All right, so I've leaped into Malloy.
Yep.
All right.
How do you fix the state? You get 2 minutes. Go.
Step one. And knowing that, as I know how the process works, step one, go to legislature. Hand me a budget that cuts spending and reduces taxes. If I had full support of the legislature, for one, I would eliminate the income tax. I would just eliminate the income tax. I'd make a compromise with people. I'm going to eliminate the income tax. I'm going to raise the sales tax to 7%. But I'm going to tax everything.
Good.
I'm going to tax everything. Everything's going to be 7%.
Mm-hmm. Is this coming from the guy who says taxation is theft?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Sales tax a little more voluntary, though.
That's true. The more you
it's
buy, the more you
progress.
tax. Exactly.
It's progress.
Which is why I believe in the flat
Here's
tax.
the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not one of those guys that's all or nothing. Anything that brings us closer.
60 seconds, kid. Go.
I'd start there. I'd eliminate the income tax. I go to a 7% sales tax. I would, instead of nullifying the uniform method of naturalization, I would nullify federal corporate tax. I would refuse to turn over corporate taxes to the federal government. I'd be ballsy.
Okay.
And I'd tell businesses, come to Connecticut. We're not going to have a corporate tax.
Okay. So, looks like you did it in $1.30. Good job.
That's what I would do. I'd start there. The only way Connecticut's going to get better is to build business.
Mine is going to be short and sweet. I don't even need 2 minutes. Listen to the people. If you want to enact something that is detrimental to the greater number of constituents in your state, that appeals to the smallest segment of your population, you are not doing right by the people of your state. You are actually doing wrong. You are infringing upon my liberty. You are infringing upon my freedom. You are infringing upon my beliefs. And if there's one thing I do not tolerate, is someone infringing upon my liberty, my beliefs, and my freedom. Listen to your people. Put everything out there as a referendum. Put everything out there as a vote. And if the majority of the people say that every Wednesday is ranch dressing Wednesday, then you know what? I gotta fucking follow. You know why? Because the majority spoke their mind. If you do not give the people their just due, that is labeled not only in our Constitution
There's a
for the
reason why
entire
there's a voting process.
for the entire population of the United States, but each state also has some sort of a constitution that says, we listen to you.
Every state has a constitution.
Thank you. I was going to make that point. You beat me to it. Fantastic job. If the majority of the people of your state, or the majority of the people that go out and vote in your state, because a lot of people just sit on their couch, eat potato chips, and bitch on Facebook. If the majority of people say if the majority of the people say it's so, it's so.
Waluigi is the
I
winner.
do have a follow-up. There's one other thing I would do. I would allow every insurance company in the United States of America to sell insurance in Connecticut.
Really? Why?
Because there'd be so much competition, the prices would have to drop.
Wow. Are we up against the break? Because I could use a break.
We're pretty much up against the break. Yeah, I was going to say we're almost to the end, so we can do a quick break before
rolling
top
on
10.
2 hours.
Real quick, guys, I do got to say this. A couple of, running through this, absolutely sales tax equal to appropriation, cut property taxes so people don't stop moving out of Connecticut. Janelle
It's a city thing.
It is.
That's a problem. It's a
Why is the mill rate in one town 21%, but in the neighboring town it's 9%?
for 60
That's horseshit.
guys,
But the
for
Connecticut
60
subsidized some of it.
years, Paul's TV
Wow,
was
yeah.
in Groton, Connecticut, and in Rhode Island, in the area. They were one of probably the businesses that I knew growing up for forever.
I've never been there, but I always drove by it.
I've been there. I bought a
twice.
TV there.
Yeah, I bought a TV once, and I actually dropped one off, and they fixed it. They were the only place that actually was able to fix a TV.
When I was
at
a
the time.
resident of the city
only
of
place
Groton.
you can get a DLP, obviously not online, you know what I'm saying, but you could get the replacement light, and he gave you instructions on how to fucking fix
when
it.
I lived in the city of Groton, he had a great video rental gig on the side, so you didn't spend $5 on a Blockbuster rental. You can go down to Paul's where nobody went and get the hottest fucking movie right there from him for $250.
He was getting desperate at that point. They started doing microwave ovens. They started doing refrigerators.
He was doing what Morgan and White did in Norwich before they got forced out.
Exactly. Well, unfortunately, they're done. They're out of business.
It's hard to keep up with a changing market.
Amazon, one of our affiliate links. As much as we love them, they're killing the small mom.
Wait.
They're talking about big box stores too. So.
Before the break,
absolutely. Walmart's and your fucking.
Before the break, Sears, JCPenney, and Macy's are all crying insolvency right now because they're not getting the numbers they're used to, and they're saying that it's internet shopping that is killing them. But I'm going to point to when I was working in the mall back in 1997 as a manager of one of the stores where they didn't cater to the people. They thought because their name was big enough, we can charge. We don't have to compete. We don't have to drop our prices and deal with the Walmarts, Kmarts, Targets, et cetera, so forth. We can just keep being us, and we're still going to rake in the cash because people trust Sears. People trust JCPenney.
Put all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
And
right.
You can't maintain.
And if you don't
do
compete on a global marketplace, you're going to find yourself on your ass.
Even for me, like I'm self-publishing books on Amazon. When the model changes, and it's probably going to change to a subscription. There's a subscription model with Kindle Unlimited. If it changes to strictly that, I'm going to have to adapt to my business model.
Right.
Everybody, right, exactly. And everybody else, that's exactly what they do.
Same thing with this podcast. Same thing,
Everything. You got to change. You got to change with the times. Exactly.
And I think we've done that.
And here's and you know what? If you're still listening, this is another reason why I want to pay for the fucking roads, because I think in 10 years we won't need roads.
I agree.
Okay, Doc Brown, I'm going to go to the bathroom now.
Katie Yelton, real quick. I gave you the big like because I do agree with you. Legalizing marijuana is the best way to bring money in. We've said it before a bazillion times.
I think
marijuana
any voluntary transaction should be legal.
Exactly.
As long as there's consent.
Exactly. As long as there's some reflection behind it that it's not a super fucking danger. We're not just fucking distributing the fucking shit out there like to stick it in your veins and you die.
Can I say something that's kind of cold-hearted, but somebody on another... like on a YouTube channel said something and it stuck with me. When you create these laws to protect like the weakest people, you end up with a society of weak people.
Yes.
We're living it right now.
We are.
We're living it right now, and we'll be right back.
Yes. Welcome back to the Fuck Dan Malloy Show. We hate Dan Malloy.
Welcome to the future. The future is awesome. We all listen to techno.
We need some Daft Punk helmets.
Yeah, we
That would
do
be
that.
great. Even those Devo gimmicks where it looked like the fucking Lego heads. That'd be fantastic.
Welcome back, everybody. We are on the closing time of our show.
And I lost my gimmick.
And we want to thank each and every one of you for listening and tuning in live.
By gimmick, he means penis.
As always.
No, I had that gimmick in my hand
love
just
us,
a few minutes
share
ago.
us. If you get the chance, tell your grandma about us. Tell your grandpa about us. Tell that little girl down the street about us. Just tell everybody about us.
Where can they find us? Not only on
They can
Facebook.
find us right there on Facebook, but they
Yep.
can also find us at our website where you can subscribe directly to the show and get it downloaded as soon as it is available at lokiandjabroni.com. You can also find many affiliate links, including Amazon, Fandango. We have Zounds. We have King Coolers. I remember the cooler part. I always forget the King part.
Yeah.
Which is kind of odd for me. And there is...
Oh, are you forgetting the most important one?
Amazon?
No, we got
He said Amazon.
No, I said Amazon.
WWE.
We have WWE. And I thought we had one more, right? Wasn't there...
No, that's...
No, okay, that was it for right now.
Patreon.
And
the Patreon is a donation which you can go right to and see and give us donations, which within, I want to say, 2 weeks, I will be displaying the first T-shirt that will become available. Now, these are limited edition, people. I will not be making this shirt ever again. Once I am done making it, I am going to burn.
It's going to be a T-shirt of the month club.
Yeah.
let me be the first to sign up for this particular T-shirt.
This one is dedicated to one of our favorite people, Mr. Blair Tugman. I am actually
Did you not remember what you said last week about what the first shirt would be?
the horse shit. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. No. I know. That one is without a doubt happening. But I have the Tugman shirt coming available. That's going to be a limited edition one. That one is definitely going to Tugman and everybody else. If you haven't seen it yet, I made the Tugman word out of a shark form with the lokiandjabroni.com
Next
on
week,
the back.
since next week is going to be the first show of the new month,
Yep.
we'll come up with the actual dollar amounts you're going to donate. And if you continue to donate, you'll get a brand new T-shirt
Yes.
every month.
Yes.
Right to you.
Exclusive.
And not only is that going to be the opening of T-shirt of the month, next week is our biggest podcast ever as we bring in top 10 rated iTunes podcasters Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson from Something to Wrestle With. Bruce Pritchard, you guys might remember, was Brother Love back in WWE back in the 80s
Yes,
and
sir.
90s. Conrad Thompson, who runs First Family Mortgage, is a lifelong wrestling fan. He does podcasts with such names as Bruce Pritchard.
So get ready
Tony
for
Schiavone
a
and Ric fucking
wrestling
Flair.
extravaganza
It's
next
gonna be
week.
fun.
It is going to be massive. It's going to be exciting.
I'm going to need an Uber driver on the way home because the Crown Royal and the Miller Lite's going to be flying
Do you
between me
know
and
you
Conrad.
can also get Uber Drive to drive you food now?
Yes, I heard that.
Yes, it's fucking awesome. A lot of businesses that don't have delivery are actually doing this now. So we need to get a little Uber love.
Episode
And
100 is going to be
make
just
sure,
landmark.
Make sure you're grabbing your wrestling gear when you listen to the show.
Yeah, right now. Pick it
Go
up
to the
now so you're
WWE
wearing
shop.
it.
Right now, I think they got a buy one, get one deal going.
Nice.
And they have retro. I'm pretty sure you might be able to find it yourself a Brother Love.
You can find, or you can also go to, and Conrad, if you're watching, if you're listening, if I have to tell you about it next week, I don't care. ProWrestlingTees.com/Bruce Pritchard. You can get all the gimmick shirts from their little sayings and doodads that they do on the show. You can get the Brother Love t-shirt. You can get the Box of Gimmicks t-shirt. You can get, it's not a rib, whatever. If you've never listened to Bruce Pritchard, sometime in the next week, find the podcast, listen to the podcast, and understand what they are before you come here next week for our biggest podcast ever.
And coming up on WWE is going to be WWE Fastlane, March 5th, live, and you can see it on the WWE Network.
It's going to be the last one before
WrestleMania.
So,
Now, is that...
You can get all the content on the WWE Network if you subscribe through our affiliate link.
Yes, and it's only $9.99 a month.
$9.99 a month, and make sure you do it now, because if you do it on the day of the pay-per-view, you will not be guaranteed a full pay-per-view.
You will be cut off 35 minutes before the end of the fucking show.
This isn't a knock at the WWE. They are one of the biggest networks right now. They are one of the people sign on and sign off left and right, and they do it on pay-per-views all the time. You might as well just say at this point, pay-per-views are $9.99 because if you pay $60, $70 for these pay-per-views,
okay, look at it like this.
Point,
financially, look at it like this. It's $10 a month. Let's forget the $9.99. It's $10 a month. It's $120 a year. WrestleMania is generally $79.99.
It's $80
just to buy one.
It's $90 if you want an HD, buddy.
You want to break it down? If you really want to break it down, you're buying 3 pay-per-views and getting the other 24 because now they're brand specific every 3 weeks. You're buying 3. You're getting 21 for free, especially the biggest priced one of the year, WrestleMania.
Never miss a match.
Exactly.
Never.
And the best
classic matches.
I'm not a subscriber to the WWE Network. I really wish I were. If I were, I'd probably never work another day in my life because I'd be sitting at home watching it over.
I gave you my password.
I know, but I'd never leave
Can
the
we
house.
not talk about sharing WWE Network passwords?
AWA, NWA, World Class, Memphis. They just bought the old TNA archive.
So hard to get good hosts these days.
If you watched every bit of content on the WWE Network for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it would take you 4 years to watch
Can
every
I say this?
bit of content,
I
and they're
have
still
watched
adding
the original
every day.
ladder match 5 times. I have watched Shawn Michaels beat Bret the Hitman Hart
In the first-
7 times.
Yeah.
I have watched Bret the Hitman Hart beat Stone Cold Steve Austin 6 times. These are some of my favorite matches ever.
Lesnar versus Angle in WrestleMania,
oh my
whatever.
God, when he
where
almost broke
bust-
his neck. Oh my freaking God. Watch that shit in slow motion.
It's going to be a
people.
wrestling fan's dream next week. So if you know people who are wrestling fans, share it. I'm going to reshare the video on the Loki Jabroni Show
absolutely.
page. I'm going to share it on my personal page. Share with your friends that Bruce Pritchard and Conrad Thompson are coming next week. This is going to be epic. It's our 100th episode, and just part of me, a little emotional, a little fucking amazed at the same time, is that people thought we weren't going to go 12 weeks, and here we are, 100 fucking weeks in, and we still grow. Fan-fucking-tastic.
And folks, we're gonna
like a
we're
dick getting
bringing the
stroked
guests
on
in,
prom night, baby.
We're bringing the
Pamela
guests in
Henderson.
on Skype. We're bringing the guests in on Skype, so you're going to see our guests and interact with our guests.
I'm
It's
excited.
going to be a great time.
I'm excited.
Quick question for Ed. So for the listeners, because I had a couple people ask me over the last week, are the questions I told people on the video, and you guys will see the video again. Send your questions into the Facebook page. Send your questions to the Twitter page, which is at Loki and Jabroni. The hashtag is LNJ100. Any way you can get to us. Will they be able to send their questions in live?
They could.
What's the platform? We need to kind of get this out of the way.
Any platform you want.
Okay.
We can do Facebook or YouTube. We'll let you know when we finalize the details.
Excellent. That's the guy to talk to. The man in the box, Eddie Focus.
The underpaid.
You're actually...
I think we're all underpaid at this point.
I was just going to say we're all underpaid.
We're breaking even, folks, which is why we need you to subscribe to the WWE.
Speaking of someone who's underpaid, let's let Joey Tempest lead us in to our next segment, which is the top 10.
He's not getting paid.
He's not getting paid at all.
Not by us.
Neither are we.
Even when we get paid.
I know. We still paying Ed.
I'll pay Ed. Ed deserves
Did you
it.
try that beer, or are you still like...
It's okay.
But Joey Tempest gets to run his hair.
It's great, man.
I know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Love it.
Who can argue with it?
Who can argue?
So what do we got, my friend?
All right, well, I want to keep with the theme. Usually when we have a theme, I try to keep with the theme. And this week, these are the top 10 things that are better than Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy. I have a subheading for this. It's also things I hate less than Daniel Malloy. So he's walking away. Are you fucking kidding me right now? My honorable mention is basically an Eddie Focus dig, and the bitch is walking away. Are you fucking kidding me? The producer of the show has walked away from his post. The man, horse shit. We had a break. He could have went in right behind me. This is why you're underpaid. I'm reaching for a beer. This is horseshit. Talk to our people.
Well, so I got to say this, guys. This is a quick little cut in. For those of you that are playing a little Xbox Live, Halo Wars 2 is out, and it is
I got no more beer in my bag. This is
phenomenal
horseshit.
game. If you guys have not had a chance to check it out, go out and pay that $60 and come out in there and join me. Crack a Wolf on Xbox, and I will come and school you in the ways of Halo. Not to mention March 4th, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom is coming out, which means I get to...
It looks so good.
Oh, I'm all over that, dude.
It's on Steam.
Yeah, I get to use fucking Ryu and fucking Iron Man again. Oh, yeah. And then whoever else I throw in there.
Hi.
It don't matter after that.
Welcome back.
What?
He had a specific joke, and you went to go piss, so I had to fill in the blank.
Yeah, I know who it is. Just go.
So, the top 10 things that are better than Governor Daniel Malloy or things I hate less than
Danielle
Governor
Malloy.
Danielle Malloy.
Danielle Malloy.
Honorable mention goes to blueberry beer, which only freaking limp-wristed bitches drink. Number 10, a shit sandwich is better than Daniel Malloy. Number 9, a body cavity search is better than Governor Daniel Malloy. Number 8, the Dallas Cowboys are better than Governor Danielle Malloy. Number 7, a cactus enema is better than Governor Danielle Malloy.
Masturbating with a chainsaw. About
Pretty
the same
much.
effect, yeah.
Give or take. Number 6, herpes is better than Governor Daniel Malloy.
Ooh.
And he would know.
Not really. Number 5, Nicholas Sparks novels are better than Governor Daniel Malloy. Number 4, Gangrene is better than Governor Danielle
So it's
Malloy.
Gangrel.
Yeah, Gangrel. Okay, I'll buy it. Number 3, Meghan Trainor CDs on a loop for the rest of your life are better than Governor Daniel Malloy.
What's wrong with Meghan Trainor?
Everything.
She's got a little talent.
A little talent.
He lives in a house with a bunch of teenagers.
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to leave him alone.
Teenage girls.
Probably
Preteens and teenage girls.
I only listen to her once in a while. He's
Yeah,
probably got to
barely.
hear it all the
I
time.
barely hear it.
You're damn right, Ed. Thank you. For once, Ed has stuck up for me. Thank you, Ed. I feel redeemed right now. Number 2, being eaten by a shark is better than Governor Danielle Malloy.
Sharks going to Connecticut.
Possibly.
Bull sharks.
Bull sharks.
Shark goes into Connecticut. Connecticut goes into water. Sharks in the water.
And-
Daniel Malloy shark.
The number one thing that is better than Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy or things that I hate less than Governor Daniel Malloy is, it's an easy thing, Nickelback.
What?
Fucking hate Nickelback and you know it.
Oh, God, I hate Nickelback. But, man,
I like Nickelback better than I like our governor.
that's tough.
No, it's not tough. It's easy. I can listen to How You Remind Me more than I can listen to one of his speeches.
Daniel Malloy hurts my pockets. Nickelback hurts my heart and eardrums.
Same.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Same. But the Nickelback hurt you less than Malloy does.
I don't know about that.
Nickelback would be the only band Daniel Malloy could get for his third inauguration.
That's quite possible.
Nickelback's
And
the
they're
only people that
Canadian.
they could get to sing for fucking Daniel Trump.
Wow. Let's give a couple shout-outs here. Sublime Inc., always fantastic. They've been a supporter of the show for a year and change now. Let's give them some love. 860-445-4200. Go down and see our friends, Falcon Dave Kovalik, Dana Batts, Justin Furr, or if you're feeling extra saucy, you can go see
Dave the Nightmare Kruger.
Let's also get a shout-out to Viking Entertainment for providing this great equipment. Here's one of the proprietors of Viking Entertainment right here, Mr. Loki himself. Go down and find Viking Entertainment at a bar near you doing karaoke and hopefully soon expanding their horizons as we spoke about earlier.
Absolutely.
Somebody else I want to mention, and I know she's watching, is Algiers Landscaping, which was our first ever sponsor. She pimps the show out like nobody's business, Michelle does. And Ben is great, and everybody's great. If you ever need something done, call Algiers Landscaping. They're fantastic.
Exactly. Don't forget, Mama's Day is right around the corner.
Yes, and speaking of that, let's give shout-outs to our ladies, Amy, Janelle, and Angela, who allow us to come here and be absolute dickheads for 3 hours a night. They allow us. We're in 2017. We have to say that. We have to. We're
Never.
another child
Triggered.
for them
Triggered.
to raise.
Triggered.
No.
Triggered. Triggered.
Ed won't allow himself to say that he's
Triggered.
allowed.
Triggered.
I won't get sucked into the man apology shit.
We're not
Triggered.
mal apologizing. Look, those ladies give up time out of their lives with us to let us do this, and we thank them. They're great, their support system, and we love them. I am going to build the.
I love her too, but she's not giving up any time.
Well, time with you is kind of like whatever. I'll buy it. You excited for next week?
Fuck yeah.
It's going to be great. Episode 100. Who'd have thought? I know I did. I saw this going on until one of us drops, and we have the
I still got to get my island, so.
Loki or Jabroni tribute show. So
I got to fix a cylinder misfire.
And look, hey, as far as we were talking about it earlier, as much as a lot of us.
Sparks and wires, dude.
We don't always get along. We
I'll
don't
be
always.
pissed if that's what it is.
Right?
And it takes coils.
We don't always get along. We don't always think the
It's gonna
same.
take them
But sometime back in August, we made
Buy
the
'em, I'll do
decision.
it for you.
We made the decision to have Ed here every single week, and this three-headed monster is actually probably the best work we've ever done. So,
I love it. I fucking love it. And I hope you guys tune in next week. Tell your friends. If you are a wrestling fan, if you've even watched wrestling, do yourself a favor. Tune in next week. This is going to be fucking awesome, guys. We love y'all.
One thought. No bonus content tonight, unfortunately. We're a bunch of old people. We need to go to bed. So, unfortunately, Patreon donors, no bonus content. Maybe on the website there'll be a thank you.
Hey, if you guys want to wake up at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll be fixing a Sigma. I'll go live at 4 o'clock in the morning and put my phone out there. There you go.
Done. We will have bonus content after Pritchard
See how many
and
of you
Thompson
fucking
next
show
week.
for that one.
Right? Bruce Pritchard, Conrad Thompson, Something to Wrestle With, Loki Jabroni Show, Meeting in the Middle. Real quick, I just got a text message early in the week. Mike, I shared it with you and Ed. Tomorrow, the new episode of Three Sides of the Coin is going to drop. I don't know what the subject is, and I don't care because I listen to that every week. Tommy Summers, who watches the show, is going to shout us out pretty huge. I'm hoping that translates into listeners, viewers, etc., so forth. But thank you, Tommy. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know you've always said you're going to try to do it, and now you did it. Big ups, man. I know this guy has a connection with you for the whole Vikings thing, and you and me with the Kiss thing, but thanks, Tom. Thank you. Thank you. Very cool.
And see you later, Adrian Peterson.
Someone know what?
I said, see you later, Adrian Peterson.
Fuck Adrian Peterson.
Good night.